Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. You may regret it later, but for now,
You will.
we appreciate you being here with us as we prepare to embark on this little one-shot of Lord of the Rings Role-Playing 5e, a fantastic little game by Free League Publishing. I have here with me tonight a bunch of randy-dandy dwarves who are ready to take on this little, I guess it's an oops, all dwarves kind of situation that we've got here. I would like to introduce them to you because they are absolutely awesome people, and I'm just about ready to swear on the Bible that we're going to have a good time tonight with them. And so I would like them to please introduce themselves, tell us who they are playing tonight, and then we will try to get into this little shindig of ours here. I would like to start with the man, the hobbit, the legend, Wiley Hobbit. Hey, what's up, Wiley?
Hey, friends. How we doing? Man, is it good to be back here on this little stream channel. Boy, I'm excited.
Know?
So I'm going to be
You grease the
playing a
right
guy.
palms, you get in here, man.
Well, you know, I wrote my checks and I got in before they bounced, and here we are. So
here we are.
So I'm playing a dwarf of the Blue Mountains named Farron Ironfist, but everybody knows him as Flash for reasons.
He's quick.
Yes, that's the one. No, wait, that's not that's not it. But he's his calling is messenger, which kind of equates sort of to rogue in the 5e classes and so forth. Kind of, but not. So, but yeah, so Flash. Looking forward to getting down tonight.
Awesome to play with you again. We played the very first time we played some Lord of the Rings here on this channel.
I love this game. There, so. Yeah, in fact, I've got the rule book on its way to the house. So awesome. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we absolutely love it. So super glad to have you here. And yeah, the classes are kind of weird. It's kind of like they put all the classes in a box and shook it, and then they all came out kind of mix and match. But yeah, it's all awesome fun. Thank you so much, Riley Hobbit, for being here with us tonight. Returning for the first time in a long time in one of my games, man, I had a ton of fun with last time we played together. Again, another myth, another legend. So much of a legend, in fact. So much of a myth, in fact, that he barely exists. I have named Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey, everybody. I'm Chris, WikiVA on Discord and Twitch. I'm much more myth than legend, to be totally honest with you. I'm also playing a dwarf from the Blue Mountains named Ludgrim Runescribe. His friends know him as Ludgrim Runescribe for obvious reasons.
Which are
that's his name.
Oh,
he's a scholar. He's a scholar, 5th level scholar. Which
didn't see that coming.
Which equates to D&D 5e to, I think, as a mastermind rogue, but I'm not really sure.
With a linguist feat, yeah.
With a linguist feat,
yeah.
So happy to be here. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
No problem. Wiley was like, "Here's an extra 20. Take Chris." So thank you for being here. Super glad to have you. While he's out there, he's at a club going here,
making it
stuffing rain. Those things right in my. Hey, Duff. Next up, we have another man, a myth, and a bearded legend, Mr. Duff. What's up, Duff?
I make this group look sexy.
That's right.
Okay, so hi, folks. Yeah, Duff563, also known as Lord Praetor, over on the Praetor's Rejects channel. And also digital producer, content creator for both GaryCon and GameholeCon, your friendly gaming conventions that take place in the spring and the fall. Gamehole is getting ready to be upon us. But yes, we are a little quiet over on our channel, so we decided, hey, we got lucky. We paid the fee, and they took us in over here on the Superior and the Bleak. And so we get to have a little fun tonight playing some 5e. I'm usually on the other side of the table like Bleak, but we'll play it and have some fun and try to remember all the rules. So looking forward to it. I play Grum Hustel Ravestein, a wandering dwarf who is a purveyor of cheese. And he carries a little thing he calls a shaker on his belt with this Parmesan cheese that he's discovered that he has now ground up, and he shakes it on everything to make it all taste better. So
that's pretty excellent. That's pretty excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, here where you pay, you play here. That's sort of how we run it. Thanks for being here and bringing your cheese with you. I'm looking forward to having you cut it later. And finally, a brand new face here on Superior's Adventurers Guild. Someone you've never seen before, someone you don't know. We discovered him. He showed a lot of promise. So we said, hey, you look good. You got some talent. You want to be on the show? And, well, here he is. DM Dave.
Hi.
What's up?
Welcome. Thank you. I'm happy to be here playing this game with all y'all. Yeah, my name's Dave. I can be found here on Guild Superior playing games and producing games and running games for my friends, including Greyhawk on Tuesdays and other variety of one shots and short shots. Tonight, what time is it? Yeah, it's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing Hanar Grumblegrip, who is from the Iron Hills. Hanar has been enjoying retirement quite a lot, and he's been keeping himself busy, but not too busy because he's really not that industrious anymore. Those days are over. He's ready to party.
And
Party.
How hard does he party?
He parties pretty damn hard. If you've seen his cheetah skin vest, you'll know.
Is that a vest? I thought it was a one piece.
A onesie.
It was a
I guess we'll
Speedo.
have to wait to find out.
The dwarven
We'll
onesie.
have to wait.
A sleeveless pantsuit. Yes.
Oh, this.
Please tell me it's vinyl.
Which terms may be violated
That's
heavily
sticky.
tonight.
That's very sticky.
Very sticky. I myself am Bleakseason, and I will be playing everything and everyone here tonight, and running this little shindig. The music that you are hearing tonight, that's with every night here, is from tabletopaudio.com. We love tabletopaudio.com. Tons of great stuff on our website for free if you want it for your games, for your streams. And if you want to throw a couple of bucks at their Patreon, it's really cheap. You get tons more stuff like definitely worth your time, money, and attention. We are the Guild Superior. We play games. We post coffee memes. We do anything really that interests us. So if ever you feel interested in coming and hanging out, I've popped in totally wrong. What the hell? Why is this not working correctly? What's happening? Things are falling apart. I got it right here. Things are falling apart as we speak because you're supposed to put a exclamation mark and not a
It's me.
There we
I'm
go.
sure it's me.
Hashtag professionals.
That's right.
Yeah.
We went to
Well,
streaming
again, that's
school.
another thing that's in the advanced streaming school.
That's right.
They're saving up to pay for that one.
You can, if you want, if you like this stream, if you like what we do, consider giving us support. A little follow goes a long way, but also some bits and some subscriptions help. Every little cent that we make goes back into this game, into these games. Back into the community, paying for Patreons and buying art and doing all sorts of fun stuff with that. So if you feel like it, consider doing that. And finally, if you want to help out these noobs, which they're probably going to need all the help they can get. Let's face some facts tonight. You can buy them advantages. So I call them advantages, but apparently they're called inspirations. But for 100 bits, you can buy the player of your choice. Give a player of your choice an inspiration, which will give them an advantage at some point during the game. If you so choose. Finally, I will be using some maps from Animated Dungeon Maps, who make absolutely fantastic maps. Check out their Patreon. And with that, y'all ready?
Sure.
Y'all ready to party?
Yeah. Do it.
Like it's 1999. We are, my friends, somewhere.
That's good.
Somewhere.
It's good to be somewhere.
Making sense so far.
Makes sense so far to you. It's good because it makes no sense to me. The village of Stonemouth was closed off long ago. It was a little mining community, a little dwarven mining community. And a very long time ago, like certainly a good 100 or so years ago, the mine was closed off because they started realizing that the further they were digging, the more weird stuff they were finding, and they started feeling very uneasy with some of the things that they were finding in there. And so they decided that the best thing to do, as opposed to their friends in Erebor, that the best thing to do, perhaps because they'd learned a lesson from their friends in Erebor, they decided the best thing to do was to shut that mine off, put a big door in front of it, and just never talk about it ever again. So they did that, but of course then the village needed a way to make some money. And so they started looking around, looking for what they could do, and they came across the notion that they could grow barley. They could grow barley, and they had access to a lot of very good, fresh, clean, crystal clear water from the mountains. And so they decided that the thing to do was to make booze. And so the village became a distillery village. Now, the renamed Barleystone village is the maker of the Barleystone single malt, which is sought after throughout Eriador and as far as Lake Town. You, my friends, are part of the storied past of the Dwarven military. Each, in your own way and in your own time, have participated at length in your youth, when you were still vigorous. In several wars and skirmishes, you have paid your dues, and you now enjoy retirement, each in your own way again, in this small village of Barleystone. You each have found peace and tranquility in your dotage. You are old and your joints creak, and it, sometimes difficult to make wee-wee in the morning, but that's the price you pay for a lifetime.
But I make it like 4 times a night, though.
Well, there you go. And that's the price to pay for a lifetime of excitement.
I sometimes don't make it.
When are those times?
Oh, you'll know.
One does not talk about it.
You'll know when it happens.
Yes.
The village, as I was saying, has now reconfigured itself, found new purpose. Perhaps you too can do that. Find new purpose for yourself, because what's an old soldier to do except to sort of take it easy? Some of you, I think, do enjoy getting up early of a morning and going to take a little, well, you probably don't go skiing dipping, but you go and do a little fishing, I think. Out in the river yonder in the southwest there. And who would that be? Who amongst you likes to get up at the crow's call and head on down to do some fishing?
Flash likes an early morning walk. Absolutely.
Yeah, so does Ludgrim. He loves an early morning fish.
I would like to point out, however, that Flash is not from the same part of the Blue Mountains as Ludgrim, and therefore we did not come up together by any association.
Totally different.
Clear about that.
You say that now.
Yeah.
Tell us then, as you walk, perhaps even gambol down the field towards the water, what would an astute observer see as the two of you make your way out towards the pond for some early morning fishing?
Well, I could give you a description of Farron, the Flash.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, yeah.
Slim for a dwarf, probably due to his advanced years and his stooped posture. He's got he still sports a carrot red mohawk, and it's kind of long and falls back into a long braid down his back, and he's got this huge long red beard, bushy red eyebrows, couple of scars, prominent brass nose ring, not the one ring, or even any of the dwarven rings for that matter, but a nose ring, a septum ring nonetheless, big kind of cauliflower ears, carries a beautiful warhammer, a metal forged warhammer, a very, very nice dagger at his hip. And he's dressed in leathers that one might wear if one were attempting to be somewhat sneaky and discreet. For his background in the military is as a scout, as a runner, as a messenger, and perhaps a little bit of explosives might have happened.
Not explosives.
Sometime back in the,
That's dangerous stuff.
Flash.
Very
yeah,
dangerous,
so
dangerous dwarf
yeah.
to know.
And bright green eyes, by the way, too. That's probably important to note. So yeah, that's what's walking next to you there, Ludgrim.
Yeah, and who's your companion?
And so Ludgrim Runescribe is not a thin dwarf. He's a rotund dwarf.
That's a good.
Yeah, and he's a little bit darker skinned. Maybe spent more time in libraries and reading books than outside doing outside fighting stuff. He's totally, he doesn't sport any hair that's red anymore. He sports white hair. He has a long braided beard. His hair is just white as snow. And he's feeling his age. He's got a staff that he uses to walk with. He walks with his staff, and he's got a fishing pole slung over his shoulder, hoping to find some breakfast out on this morning stroll.
Well, perhaps you will be lucky, and perhaps you will manage to find yourself just that. You cut your way through the village and are heading towards the little pond that forms at the base. There's like the village. So the village is kind of built on a rocky shelf, a little bit higher up where the mine entrance was. A little bit lower than that, there's like a little valley that dips, and there are farms there, and that's where the barley grows and so on and so forth. And even a little bit lower than that, there is a stream of water that comes down from the mountain and runs through the town, popping up at a couple of places, but then it comes out at the bottom there, and there's a little pond. That's usually where the fishing's good. So the two of you make your way down there. You arrive at your favorite fishing spot, and prepare to set yourself down to get down to business, sort of as it were. I would like both of you to give me perception checks, if you would, at this particular juncture.
Oh, that was a great roll to start things off.
I have a 14.
Let me see if I get any bonuses. I do. So I got a 1, but I have a 1 bonus, so I got a 2 total.
That bonus, that's a game changer right there.
Yeah, well, it doubled my score.
Makes all the difference. On a percentage basis, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
we're doomed already.
Yeah, it's already gone downhill. This was it's like the Tomb of Annihilation, you know, like if you fail that first roll, everyone's dead. It's the same thing right here. So make some new characters. No, that's why we have 4 characters. So Dave and Duff, your characters are going down to fish. No, you find a couple of bodies floating in the water. You find yourselves, if you take a quick peek at the map, so you find yourselves sort of down here, where the water comes out from under the mountain, which is like sort of the awesome fishing spot. As you're setting up, and Ludgrim is very focused on his breakfast, and so has eyes only for the water, and he's pulling out his fishing pole and all that. You, Farron, as you're setting up, you smell something that's a little off, like this. There's something that just sort of at the edge of that, the mouth of where the water comes out, there's a little bit of a strange smell that is coming towards you.
I look over at Ludgrim. Oh, back in my day, we didn't break wind right next to our fishing companions, eh? Moron.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, sorry's not going to do it. I'll pick up and move away a little bit, and I'll pull out my fishing rod that looks a lot like a carved wood duck. Oh, short. Moron. Kind of start to try to sit up again and look over, and he'll pull out a little pouch, and he pulls out some, I don't know if we are fortunate enough to have like long bottom, leaves.
Oh, sure. Stuff. There was a group of traveling hobbits that came through not too long ago to purchase some of your renowned whiskey. Yeah. And
so he'll pull out a paper, a little rolling paper. He's not much for the pipe thing, and what's amazing is lit and ready, one-handed. Oh, that's how you roll it, moron.
Chong here.
Yeah, pretty good at it, apparently.
Ludgrim's just going to ignore that, and once he gets his fishing pole ready, he's going to cast into the water.
You cast into the water, and as opposed to what you would normally expect, because, it never works that well. You get a bite right away. The second your thing hits the water, you feel some tension on your line. There's already something that's fighting you, and by the amount of fight it's giving you, it's going to be a prize winner for sure.
Oh, no, you're not doing it right now. Come here, let me help you with it. You moron, you don't know what you're doing. And Flash will hop to his feet, just about lose his cigarette, and come over there and start to micromanage Ludgrim's clearly amateurish attempt at catching a what's sure to be a lunker.
And Ludgrim's going to yell out, this is the big one. I know it's the big one. This is the big one. And he's going to be pulling on it.
So
No, don't try it too hard. Give it some slack. Let it fight and tire itself out. You know all about that, you old fart.
No, you don't let it tire it out. You get it right away. Get the club ready.
And I'll whack. What, you read that in a book? Uh-huh. Let me show you here. And I'll try to get the fishing rod away from him.
So go ahead and give me an animal handling skill, Ludgrim, but since Flash is helping you, you can do it at disadvantage.
Help.
What is the rating on this show? Because right now the things that are coming or flying by with you two are just too good to pass up. So
basically the rating is Dave's face. Keep an eye on Dave's face, and when he gives you that face, you've reached a rating.
Okay.
So if I'm doing it at disadvantage, I got a 14.
So you break a sweat. You're pulling on that thing like you're trying to, like you haven't had your prune juice and you're trying to pass a monster, and you're just fighting that thing, and Flashes. And at some point, the string is wound around Flash's hand, and then and it's just a huge mess. It's just a huge mess. And then after about 5 minutes of fighting this thing, and I mean, you're gonna need a bigger boat. This thing is massive. As you're trying to sort of reel it in. At sort of the same time, the two of you sort of at the apex of your fight, and you're bitching and moaning at each other, sort of both look at the same time, and you see the body of a dwarf being pulled by your line.
Oh, what did you catch?
I told you. We just pull it in. We don't fight it until it dies. How are we going to explain that?
I'm trying to unravel myself from the...
You manage.
You killed it. You must.
No, you told me to do it.
I was just helping.
It was like this when I found it.
You're a putz, moron.
You manage. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm going to keep pulling the body towards us.
You keep pulling it, and as it gets closer to the shore where you are, you realize you know this dwarf. This is Old Brock, one of the other old timers in the village. Perhaps a friend of yours. You pull him in. Brock had this special task. See, in the middle of the village there's this giant tower, at the top of which used to be a bonfire, and if ever there was a problem in the mine, they would light that bonfire so that all the dwarves that were in the other areas would know that there was a problem, would come to help. But in recent years, you've not needed it because the mine's been closed. However, Brock was the last of the firelighters, and well, he stuck to that job. Every day he climbs up that tower, and every day he comes back down at the end of the day, and now he's floating face down into that pond, and he's just sort of, his body's just kind of bumping up against the shore where you are.
Let's get him out of there.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull him, drag him up onto the dry land, and I'm gonna check his body, check him, and see if I can see if there's any visible injury or. So
when you pull him up, you realize, Flash, that this was what you were smelling. That there was the stench of death. Your years on the battlefield and in such situations gave you a really fine nose for it, and you were picking it up even over the other smells in the area. You, Ludgrim, pull him over and sort of roll him on his back. Can you go ahead, mein Freund, and give me a medicine check?
Oh man,
I would be happy to assist.
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
Oh, let me check that. I'm going to say that's a no, but I'm going to look just to make. Oh, turns out I don't.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to still help so you can give him disadvantage again, or
no? I think I'll just, I'll be uncoiling myself from the fishing line.
Honestly, there's little you could do to make it worse, but with the modifier, I got
surprised.
I did get a 15 total.
You have like +9.
Yeah, so I got a 15 total.
That's good. So as you pull him onto shore, you realize his face is all puffed up and blue. And first off, you realize he hasn't been in the water very long. And second, you realize he's been strangled. You can see the marks around his throat where a pair of solid, rock-hard hands choked the life out of him.
Strangled.
Oh, now who will light the fire? This is a sad day.
He'll kind of whip his mohawk back and bow his head, and his hair will kind of...
He was murdered, strangled.
Oh, who would do such a thing?
Wow,
Dumped in the river.
A murderer.
Well,
seems logical.
Ask a stupid question, I suppose.
Can the two of you give me a perception check also while you're at it?
Oh, that's pretty good right there. Hang on, I got to math that one out. 23.
So I got a 21 total.
Look at us, very perceptive.
You notice both of you at the same time that his right hand is clutched really tight, and you can see a little bit of something that's sticking out, like maybe a piece of cloth or something that's sticking out between a couple of fingers.
Oh, let's get that and see what that... Maybe it's a clue.
I'm going to take the piece of cloth, yeah.
You find, clutched in his hand, perhaps during the attack he was wrestling and trying to defend himself, and he grabbed his assailant, and you realize that he managed to kind of rip out a portion of your assailant's of the assailant's clothing. In fact, he got what looks to be a pocket or something, and in the pocket, preserved from the water damage because it was a leather vestment that he was wearing, is a crumpled up piece of paper.
What has it got in its pockets, as I wonder?
Can they read?
Well, that's a good question. Can either of you read?
Well, I'm a scholar.
Can either of you read?
How do we know that? Would that be under like languages? Like I can speak and read.
I'm kidding. You can just decide if you read or not. I'm kidding. It's because Chris is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
my guy's a scholar. He'd be a pretty terrible scholar if he couldn't read.
Oh,
he just makes it all up. He uses AI.
Yeah. Chat GPT.
How do you think I wrote this adventure? You open the letter up and find this message. Once they have gone, signal the asp. Your idea of the tower fire signal is good, so use that. If that old tower guardian can't be bought like you, get rid of him. Once this is done, you get the burn barrel and prepare the fire. If the rest of the town gives us any guff, you'll get the signal to light it up. If it gets to that, don't mess around and get out of there. It's going to burn like the eye of Sauron itself. Then gather at the Forsaken Inn for your payment. You're a special kind of rotten betraying your people like that. Watch that you don't do the same with us. There is a strange mark that appears to be of an upside-down cross with 3 dots around it.
Ooh, I have a thing for that, I think. Let me consult the oracle here. I have like old lore.
If you have old lore, you can go ahead and roll that sucker.
Can I? All right, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That is a 22, 16 plus my bonus.
Chris, are you rolling?
Yeah.
You can. Old lore is just something that
it's one of my skills.
It'd be really funny if you failed and he got it.
Yeah. Well, I got a 20 total.
He
did beat me, I think.
Absolutely fantastic rolls, and you know absolutely nothing about this symbol. You've not seen this
it must
before.
be a secret.
Not encountered it before.
Yeah, we need to alert the others.
Yeah,
except they're all gone.
Well, there's not only a murderer, there's a traitor.
I think the traitor is the murderer.
Or the murderer is the traitor.
Oh, yeah.
But aren't
2 + 2
Hanar
=
and
4. So does 2 + 2.
aren't Hanar and Groom still around?
Oh, I think so.
We should tell them.
Yeah, let's go.
They probably.
Let's
Yeah.
do
Let's do that.
What is Groom doing of a morning?
Grum.
What is the bride and groom doing? What is Grum doing of a morning?
How early is it?
It's probably just past the crack of dawn. So probably about, within an hour after the crack of dawn.
Unless I have something really pressing, I'm still catching Z's. Because I have traveled long and far. I've seen it all. And I probably drank a little too much the night before. And I'm sleeping it off.
And what would Hanar be doing at this particular point in time?
Hanar, you see as he swings open the door to his rather small cottage, surrounding it a yard full of pigs and chickens and the like. And he stands there for a moment, taking in the fresh air. He's got this little goatee, certainly doesn't have the beard of a dwarf that you might expect. His greasy hair he slicks back. He's wearing nothing but a pair of blue silk underwear as he just kind of scratches his belly and looks out. And then he says, "All right, ladies, I guess you best be on your way." And he turns and gestures, and you see one dwarven woman walk out. And if you were observing this from across the street through your blinds, you'd know her as Misty Boulderhorn. And he says, "You too, Tammy." Tammy walks out, Tammy Lava Chest, and he bids them farewell as they do the walk of shame back to wherever they live.
We're
And he
not
just
by
kinda
ourselves
sits there
yet.
You're not in this. This is my fantasy, Duff. This is my
Oh,
fantasy.
I
You're not in this
apologize
one
for
yet.
intruding on your dream. I apologize, sir. I do not want
no
to be in it.
speaking during Dave's
Tammy Lava
fantasy.
Chest.
Okay.
All right, come on. So he bids them farewell, and he goes back into his cottage, and he starts to get dressed. He's got these kind of buckskin leather pants that go down to mid calf, and he's got this sweet, like, orange printed leather vest that he wears. He puts on his hat, and he walks outside to see what's going on with the pigs and the chickens.
You walk outside, and for a moment you think that, what were their names? Tammy, and what was the other one?
Tammy Lava Chest and Misty Boulderhorn.
You
They're
think
the
that
pigs.
Tammy and Misty are coming back for fifths when, at first, because the sun is kind of behind them, and you see their voluptuous figures coming towards you, but as they approach, you realize that in fact it is Ludgrim and Flash who are approaching your home.
It's good that he realizes that, because he was just reaching into this pouch that he carries on a lanyard around his neck, and inside are some little blue pills that he gets from a wizard friend of his, and he was about to take one out and pop it, but then he sees these two dwarves walking up, and he puts it back in his vest. "Well, fellas, welcome. What are you doing here?"
Hanar, bad tidings.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a traitor.
Real bad. The Putz has got something to say.
There's a
What is with
traitor
you
in
two?
town.
Come on. A trainer?
Traitor.
Speak up.
Traitor.
Traitor.
Traitor. The traitors are here again? I
No,
just bought a bunch of-
traitor.
Betrayer.
Oh, like a scoundrel.
Yeah, a
Infidels.
scoundrel and a murderer.
Infidels. And a murderer.
Grum,
So
you
which one of you
hear
is it?
this screaming
Same
from
person.
outside your window. You're trying to sleep, and there's 3 idiots just blathering
Shut
on.
your traps, you imbeciles.
Oh, is that Grum? Grum! There's a traitor.
He's so ornery. Do we really want to invite him into this conversation?
Yeah, because I would have said earlier, when you made that smell of the dead body, you probably might have thought it was me, because I rarely bathe, and I drink a lot, and I usually spill a good bit down me, and I don't bathe. And when you're talking about the hobbits came through with the leaves, you don't chop it up and put it in paper. You roll it up big and thick, and you smoke it like I call it a stogie. And so I usually will always have one in the side of my mouth, chomping on it.
Oh,
And I smell just as bad.
Brock's been killed. Luke Grimir says he
Brock?
was strangled, choked to death by
He's-
a traitor.
And a murderer.
and a murderer, but
Actually, the murderer is the one who strangled
person.
him.
Right.
Why
but
would
they're
somebody
also
kill
a
Brock?
traitor.
Listening
Why
to
would
you
somebody
two,
kill
I'd
Brock?
do it also.
Give him the note.
There's a note.
Hey,
They
read this here, eh?
It explains it, and I'll hand him the note.
They could read this. It was amazing already.
Burn barrel, fire.
So do we know these places in town? It says
I'll point
something.
to the tower.
Well, there's where the fire goes. That's where Brock does his job. It's been years since
They wanted him to light the fire, but he wouldn't do it. So they killed him. They strangled him.
And one of them is one of us, apparently.
I thought one of them said like an inn or someplace. There was a name.
The Forsaken
Take
Inn.
it
You've
easy there,
not
friend.
heard of. Actually,
Okay.
give me old lore rolls. Give me old lore rolls.
I might know. I might have traveled through there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Do you have
But
Brock's body with you?
apparently it's not that good for me. Boy.
Oh,
Right over
God.
here. Yeah.
That's Brock?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
we
will
could feed
roll
him to
the
the
big
pigs.
dice because I have a size issue. Ooh. I got it.
So,
With
does
a
size
18.
matter or not? Apparently.
Yeah.
I got a
I'll take
29
that.
total.
It does. Believe me, it does.
So what you know about the Forsaken Inn is that there is a place on the East Road, quite a bit of ways from here. It's on the other side of Bree in the Shire from where you are. So it's a bit of a trek, but there is this place that is rumored to be called the Forsaken Inn, which is a tavern that's kind of hidden in mist a little bit. And it's where rapscallions and brigands and thugs and killers and assassins all kind of gather as in a sort of neutral place to deal and do business and so on and so forth. It's a den of iniquity of the basest kind.
Yeah,
So
they
you've been
didn't
there
like
a
my
few
cheese.
times. You, if you want to check at the map for a second, I will say that this in the center here, this is the tower, right? That normally Brock would be working from. This is the distillery here at the bottom. Over here is the mine that is sealed. And down here is the area where they grow all the barley and all that good stuff. So your lot probably has houses like in this area here. The village is bigger than that.
Away.
It's just kind of represented here. As you are looking at this, I would like the two new Duff and Dave. So Hanar and Grum. Give me some perception checks.
Ooh, I'm good at that.
What do you want me to do with old Brock here? He's
I'm proficient with it.
pretty bad shape. Gonna have to be in a closed casket, I think.
Ooh, I'm gonna need it.
16.
16.
You do notice that the leather that's been ripped off, the leather pocket that was ripped off of a piece of clothing, looks like it comes from one of the overalls worn by the workers of the distillery. And as you make this discovery, you hear people starting to yell and scream. You hear noise. There's some sort of hubbub that's going on down the hill near where the distillery is. There's a bell that's ringing now, and people are starting to come out of their homes and kind of look at what's going on and making their way down there. And there seems to be some sort of hubbub taking place down there.
Oh,
Now
shall
what?
see what the fuss is all about.
Probably the traitor.
I'm gonna light a cigar and chomp on it. Let's go see what the hubbub's about.
Trader
Before we
Joe.
go,
What do I
I'm
do
gonna-
with old
I'm
Brock
gonna
here?
point out the connection to the distillery working overalls.
Well, I've always said, you can't trust them liquor people. Good ale's what we ought to be brewing here, not liquor. Just
Yeah,
what I've
What would
always
we
said.
do with the body?
But yeah,
Feed it to the
what
pigs.
about old Brock? We're right near
The
Hanar's
closest thing you
place.
have
Let's
right
pull him
now to
inside.
someone who would know what to do with the body would be Ludgrim. As a scholar and a healer, Ludgrim, you'd be the main one.
Hanar,
people would
let's
turn
pull
to-
him inside so he doesn't lay out in the sun. We'll put him in your
Mm-mm.
place till
Nope,
we can
nope.
figure.
So is there?
No,
So I guess I'll do.
Not happening.
There must be some kind of rite that you do, dwarven rite
Yeah.
that you do for folks who've passed. So I'll do the quick version since there's a hubbub.
Not
And
a
ours not
problem.
having
And I think you would probably think of just getting a nearby cart or wagon and wrapping his body up in some kind
Bring
of cloth
out
and putting
your
it in
dead.
there and, figuring out on
Yeah.
coming back to it once you figure out what the hubbub is.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Throw it in this cart. I'll say a quick prayer.
Bring out your dead.
Well
Poor
done.
Brock deserved better than this.
I'll start wrapping.
We'll
him
come
up.
back to him.
Okay.
By Durin's beard, we shall avenge his death.
Let's see what the hubbub's about. Let's see if it's the murderer.
You make your way down to the main plaza in front of the distillery in the village, and you see that people have started to gather. There are 5 figures on horses. They appear to be human. They are all wearing leather armor. They're festooned with weapons. A couple of them are wearing helmets, and they all have like furs and and horns and bits and pieces of bone, and they just look like bad news altogether. And
Oh, big folk.
one of them is kind of leaning on he's got this huge sword, and he's just kind of leaning on a pommel, and he's looking down and talking to one of the other villagers, and he's like, so who speaks for this shithole? You got, I don't know, a headman, a king, what is it you got here? Send me someone I can talk to.
Is this village all dwarves?
Yeah.
Okay.
All dwarves all the time.
As it should be.
Well,
I'll step up, kind of push my way through the.
excuse me, pardon me. Flash coming through. Yep. All right, mister. What are you morons doing here? Can't you see we've had a death? Oh, they can't see that, can they? Well, we've had a death and you're disturbing us. So what's your business?
Well, let's just say that I'm here to help you prevent a whole lot more deaths.
Oh, well, that's handy.
What?
Good news.
What's your name, pal?
Fair and iron fit. Tommy Flash.
Baron Ironlung? All right. Look, Ironlung.
That's
Cast
an
your
iron
eye-
fist from the Blue Mountains.
And I'll point to the east, which they're everyone knows
Definitely
they're
to the west,
Yeah.
He's like, all right. Turn around. Look in that direction. Look yonder. Look a little past your the ramparts of your village. You see in the plain, and when you cast your eyes over there, you see that there are probably about 30 to 40 other armed men atop horseback.
Okay. Yep. Hello.
Yeah, those are my friends.
Okay. Well, these are all my friends, so take note.
I look around, and all of a sudden, I'm like,
Oh. All right. Well, I see.
Look, I'm going to make this easy on you. I see you got a bunch of those little barrels there. And you do, in fact, have these little barrels. And what these barrels are, these small barrels that you have, they're not barrels you use for the whiskey, but you have, back in the day when when the mine was a functioning concern, they had what was called a daily lot barrel. So every dwarf that worked the mine had this little barrel that would be attached to their back, and basically at the end of the day, they had to fill that with ore, whatever it was that they were.
Yeah, back in my day, we used those for your daily amount of mining or filling up, and that's what those are for. What of it?
Well, they look like the perfect size for what I got in mind. You see, my friends over there, they're very, very uppity. They like to get up to all sorts of reckless, violent nonsense, and
he'll lean in.
I could tell right away when I looked at them they were that kind of folk. Yeah.
there you go. And
Seen
they're
it
fixing
with
to
my
come
eyes.
down here and, well,
Oh,
kill a whole bunch of people. But,
wait, what?
yeah. But thankfully,
Why
I'm
would
here.
they do that?
Well, because we're bandits, you see. Now, thankfully, I'm here, and I'm here to give you a way out of this mess. If you're interested, that is. Because if you're not interested, I'll just signal them, and they'll come in here, and we'll just put this place to the sword.
Oh, I see. Will you now?
gonna roll.
The rest of us listening to this?
Yeah, you're all there.
I got an 18 on my intimidation roll.
Okay.
Well, out with your plan then. I'll consider it, perhaps.
I can tell you're a man, a dwarf of action. So I'm not gonna
Damn
bullshit.
right I am.
This is how it's gonna go down. You're gonna take those daily lot barrels, you call them. We'll say you're gonna take one per household in this shit dump. We're gonna come back here tonight, round dusk. When we come back here, you're gonna have one of these barrels filled for each household with whatever they have that's worth the most. And if they don't have anything worth anything, well, you can fill it up with fresh food, drink, maybe some of that whiskey you got. In fact, why don't you take that wagon over there and fill that up with whiskey barrels? We're going to take that too. So look, it's pretty easy. One daily lot barrel per household filled with whatever you have that's worth the most, and a wagon full of whiskey. We're going to come back here at dusk, and if that shit is not ready, waiting for us to take out of here, we are going to kill every single last one of you fucking runts. Do I make myself crystal clear?
Let me see if I have this straight. First things first. First, you're gonna lick my ass, and then you're gonna turn and you're gonna walk the fuck out of here. Did I get that right?
No.
And I look back
While
over my
he's
shoulder,
doing
expecting like,
Did
All
I
right, so
get
let's go
that
around.
right?
Let's go around and just see what everyone wants to do. So you're telling this guy to perform a I don't know, a tuckus like this on you. Go ahead, guys. Tell me where you want to go. So we'll start with Duff. What's
Oh, the joy. Thank you. So, yes, as Flash begins the rebuttal, because we're going to know what he's going to say, I'm over there mumbling to him, hey, what I, as personal and to me, and you will see me stand up on the wagon right over one of those little barrels, and you will then see a stream move and flow up and over into the barrel. And this is my gift to you as I belch and...
I stand corrected. We will provide you one barrel of that. You can take it with you now after you lick my ass.
It is our barley ale, and it'll taste just fine after it sits a little bit. And I go and go and go.
And what's Anar doing?
Strange brew.
What's Anar doing in all this?
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Well,
Strange brew.
Pinar is at the back of this
Take
group
off,
of
you
people.
hosers.
Yeah, take
And
off.
he is currently, he's actually not really paying much attention. He is definitely talking to Carla Swamp Hollow and trying to kind of hook things up for the afternoon, little afternoon delight. So he's like, he's got his elbow up on a barrel and he's talking to Carla, and
She's like,
he looks over and
how
You
can
might
you be
wanna get out of the
how can you
way.
be talking about such things when are we gonna get? Are we all gonna get
Carla,
killed by these?
focus, Carla.
But
Carla, focus.
they're threatening to kill everyone. Shouldn't we take this a little
Look, Flash
serious?
has got it under control. Look at him, and he turns over and he sees Grum just pissing all over the place. He's like, "You're gonna have to excuse me for a minute."
Oh, no, my stream is on point, Hanar. Okay, let's get real. I'm on point with the stream. I'm not all over the place.
His eyesight
in a
isn't that
barrel.
good either, which is a problem.
Whole new meaning to the term live stream.
Okay.
Dexterity saves for everyone.
That's right. I did want to say earlier also that Fancy Animal Vegan bought Anar 3 advantages.
I think we're gonna
so that he
need them.
can get himself some little blue pills. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Acquaintanceship.
Thank you so much,
Magic
Fancy Animal Vegan.
augmentation, that's all it is.
So yeah, so you excuse yourself from what was her name? Swamp Hollow.
I Carla Swamp Hollow. I extract myself from that conversation.
Fancy name for pigs.
And he goes over to stand aside his companions, one of them urinating and the other one
Not
talking
ready
shit.
to throw hands.
Yeah.
And what's Ludgrim doing during this entire madness?
So Ludgrim's concerned about the cart or the wagon because that's where they put Brock.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be saying to Flash as he's saying whatever he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, negotiating. I'm gonna say, make sure they know that's where we put Brock. We put
That's
Brock
right.
in there. Do they
We'll
want him
need-
too?
We'll need time to get our fallen brother from the cart before you take the barrel of piss with you. So give us a few minutes, or
Well,
we
he
got
is
till
valuable
dusk
to
or
us.
whatever, don't we?
I'll
He
do
is
better than that.
valuable.
I'll give you until dusk tonight. We'll be back. And you're acting all tough, and I can tell you got some grit and some sand to you. And, well, that one's he's still pissing, so I don't even know what he's got, but he's got some sort of condition. I'm going to tell you what. You speak a good game, and you look tough, but we're just gonna eat you alive. So do the smart thing, would you? Have all that
Cannibals.
stuff ready for us when we come back, and maybe you get to see tomorrow.
I'll kind of lean back, let my cigarette hang, and a little puff of smoke, and kind of just let him see my warhammer and my dagger.
Yeah, you just bring this rabble-rousing bunch of punks, moron, futzes back in here and see what happens tonight.
I guess we'll
We'll
see.
be ready for you.
Yeah. He looks at his partners and he motions, and the lot of them turn around and ride on out and go rejoin the rest of their 30, 40 odd, really, fairly rough looking customers. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. It looks like a
Took
good
care of
deal.
that.
30 to 40.
So one of the
Yeah.
other villagers comes over, and she's not looking at Hanar because she's a little bit ashamed of some things that happened between them recently. But her name is Molly Cuttlefish, and she comes over to you, Flash. and
Cuddle.
she's like,
Oh,
what are we gonna do, Flash? Should I
Well,
tell people to start?
I was thinking of taking a shit and figuring out what to do about Brock. I don't know about the
She
rest of
she
you.
kind of stares at you a little bit, then turns and goes to Ludgrim. Ludgrim, what do you think we should?
Well, I think that's a mean looking bunch.
And they're so
I
tall.
think we're in some trouble. They're tall.
Big fellers. Well, excuse me, but I run kind of like a sundial. I'll be back. It's time.
Bigger they are, the harder they fall.
So, what should we do then, Grum? And she's
Well,
still
we're good.
she's still just not looking at Hanar.
If we're really gonna fight, we're gonna have to have a plan of some kind, because all our fighting men, well, they're off at the mine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
think
You hear
they're
the outhouse door slam shut.
they're really gonna come here and do what they said they were gonna do?
Don't we know our dwarven ladies are just as tough as us?
Well, the ones that are really tough and capable went with the rest
Okay.
to the other
okay.
town to help him out with that
Town
tunnel collapse.
center.
You can hear some grumbling coming out of the outhouse.
Yeah, back in my day, we didn't talk to people like that we didn't know. Oh, I'm going to show them. They might be.
I think
So
unless we
what you
We'll show
sorry,
him.
I'm sorry, just 1 second later. So what you realize is that everyone in the village that's left, which are mostly people that can't fight, are kind of all looking at the four of you now. Quite a number of them avoiding, Hanar's gaze, but
Just
all
the
of them
females.
are kind of looking at you right now and kind of expecting you to do something to fix the situation.
Door in the outhouse slams. Come walking back up. Some toilet paper on the heel of my boot.
All right, what's the plan, boys? Are we going to take these sons of guns down? Or are you going to fill your buckets like a bunch of pansies?
well, we are kind of outnumbered.
No. We are.
And they have better weapons than we do.
And let's be honest, we're all retired. I mean, when was the last time?
I'm in my prime.
Like I said, when was the last time you picked up a battle axe or a warhammer?
He kind of shows his hammer.
Right here on my hip.
You picked it up this morning?
We're not talking what's between your legs. That ain't a battle hammer. Okay.
Certainly
Well,
not. Not anymore.
That's not what Molly told me. Right, Molly?
Molly's
Molly.
just like staring away,
What?
not listening at all to.
I thought we had something beautiful, Molly.
What is with
We're
you and the
safe.
women here?
I am providing only a service to our fellow dwarven women folk.
You hear a
Much
couple
needed
of them.
service.
You hear a couple of them whisper. He's also providing a lot of itches, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
I don't think that dwarven Big D. That's no service. That needs a healer. I don't even know what I just said.
None of us do, but you know what? We're to that age now.
Yeah.
Let's just give them the village.
Where
We'll move to
whatever
the
you
next
say,
act.
people think it's just full of wisdom because you're your age, right? And they're like, oh,
You know, if we
they're
just
gonna
left
ponder.
right now, we could probably make pretty good headway before they returned.
Look,
We
they're going
better
to come
get a
back
plan.
and kill everyone. We can't let that happen.
Well, so
What do we know about the defenses of this lovely?
So your options are pretty limited. There's no fencing that goes all the way around it.
We could build some.
You could probably take a
too
bit of a
long.
while. When you get your heads
Oh.
together and try to come up with some kind of plan, you really kind of draw a blank. And then,
No surprise there.
just like
Yeah.
we're shooting.
but
Speak for yourself there, Ludgrim.
eventually, with a bit of time and effort, you start to realize there's like 4 spots in town that would be like kind of a decent place to lay out an ambush where you might get a chance. There's a lot of them, 30 or 40 of them, so you'd have to kind of prepare. But you figure there's about 4 spots that would be decent places to lay an ambush. And that would be the town center, which is sort of where you are right now. The distillery street, the sort of dead end that leads up to the distillery. The distillery itself, the interior, because it's got all these huge stills, so you could kind of separate them, and there's walkways and things like that. And also near the mine, there's the old quarry. If you take a look at the map I have set up for you here,
We could
a little bit of a situation where
fill
you can
that
see the
cart so they
4
draw
areas.
them to a cart. Oh boy.
So up here at the top, you have the old quarry.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you moving the map? You know how long it took me
Sorry about that. That was
to
me.
line those things up?
You got to lock them up.
Well, normally I don't, because normally players don't fuck around with my shit.
Yeah,
But I guess
I didn't-
you clowns.
I didn't like where it was.
You took
Yeah.
a chance with us, and we have
You
failed.
really did.
So
I
okay,
mean, you should have known better, if I'm being.
yeah.
I mean,
So the first... Oh, would you stop? You're killing me,
Lock it
Smalls.
I just want you to know it's not me this time.
We know who it is. The name's showing.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
random?
So the first spot that you have is here in the old quarry, where there's some elevation and some narrow alleyways and whatnot that you could use to your advantage. The next one is where you are right now, which is here in the town center. Again, you could kind of split them up because there's that city hall building at the center of the place. You can see all those barrels of whiskey there also. Maybe they can be used, as it's highly flammable, so there's always that.
I know a thing or two about flammability.
Yeah, and
But
failability
they don't call
also.
me Flash for nothing.
There is the interior of the distillery itself, which also has various walkways, some whiskey. These huge pot stills would make some pretty good cover, and if you could lure them in there. But now you got to lure them in there, so who knows how that's going to work out. And
They're coming
finally,
for a big cart full of treasure, right? Well,
there is a dead end. There's a street that dead ends at the distillery, which would also probably give you a decent spot to fight from. So, yeah, kind of up to you to figure out what.
But there's 4 against 40.
You can probably rustle up about 10, 15 other people that could, in a pinch, fire a crossbow or, wield a spear or a hammer.
Do
or
we
something.
have
We
enough
need to-
weapons for that?
Yeah, there's the armory. Most of the able-bodied men and women that left to go help with the mine took a lot of the tools, but they didn't take anything beyond really their personal weapons. So there is a bit of an armory. Back in the day, there was a kind of little militia that would defend the mine, of course, and a lot of those weapons are here. They're probably kind of old, but certainly still serviceable. We're talking dwarven-made weapons and armor, so that's
Okay.
quality.
Good.
Are there
we also need to-
elderly and like dwarflings, like children that we?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we protect them.
Right.
I like that. I like the old quarry because we can maybe tuck some of them inside.
Get them back in a cave or something.
Yeah.
We also have a small problem of a traitor in our midst. We need to find the person who's missing his pockets.
Well,
Yeah, you might want to recheck that.
patch. I mean, the pocket. We're going to know it came off somebody's uniform, right?
Right.
Did
Yes,
the
sir.
workers from the distillery go off to the mine, or there was a small contingent? I think.
Do you want to see the message again? Because there was something
There
to
was
be.
3 workers left, I believe.
Yeah, once in.
In the message, there was something probably worth re-educating yourselves about.
I'll pull the letter back out. Let's see here.
The message read, once they have gone, signal the asp. Your idea of the fire signal is good. Use that. That'll target you. Okay. Once this is done, you get the burn barrel and prepare the fire. If the rest of the time gives us any guff, you'll get the signal to light it up. So there's that to contend with also.
Somebody's going to set something on fire. All right. Burn barrel.
Need to keep an eye on the tower. Maybe we should take the burnables down out of the tower.
Well, as you mentioned, you look up and you see that the fire at the top of the tower is burning.
As it should be or should not be on?
Well, it should not be on.
Yeah. Okay.
You kind of figure it's probably part of this message, right? That someone signaled them that their town was ripe for picking.
Oh,
Well, in
that's
the
how
old
they-
days, we used to fire up the flame to bring help from the surrounding clans. So maybe that's a good sign. I mean, maybe there's a dwarven cavalry on its way.
Maybe, except that most of the other villages around here would have been press ganged into going to help with the cave-in at Pebble Throw.
Didn't they see the
And that's a
tower
couple
from
days.
Pebble
That's a
Throw?
couple days walk
Oh.
away.
Damn it.
We don't see anyone at the tower, do we? Like,
No.
who lit it?
Well, we need to go check.
Oh, we need to find the bastard that's missing a pocket.
That's what I say. That's what I was going to say. If someone checking the tower while there was someone else, or we go in pairs, go check out the overalls. I'm assuming would we know who would be wearing different ones, or are they all the same?
There would probably be all the same. The
Okay.
people that are left here, the skeleton crew that was left behind, are Dora, daughter of Egbert. Egbert is the one who founded the distillery back in the day. There is Belthier the Mattock, who is just the biggest, beefiest, strongest dwarf in the town. And, I mean, honestly, he's Hanar's biggest competition. And Fallon Broadhand,
Not
who's
worried.
one of the master distillers of the place, who is
And
kind of
do
in
they
charge of
have
making sure that all the various...
coveralls on?
They probably would all have coveralls on.
Someone should go check them out. I'm going to go check the tower.
Okay.
So let's do that. Let's
I'll
go
go check.
around. Let's go around and tell me what you're going to do. So you, Grum, are going to go check the tower, right?
Yep.
What's Flash going to do?
I'm going to go see about this traitor.
And
Son
how
of
are
a
you
bitch.
going to do that?
Going to go looking for pocketses.
All right.
Missing-
Brandon, you're
missing
going to the
pockets.
distillery. What's
Yeah, yes,
Hanar
sir.
going to do?
Hanar is going to spend some time talking with the women folk and letting them know that everything is going to be okay. He's going to try to sort of like calm people down. We don't need to have chaos, running amok. And while he's doing that, he's going to try to overhear any sort of rumor or see if he can find out if there's anything weird going on with any of the workers at the distillery.
Okay, nice. And Ludgrim.
Ludgrim's gonna go with Flash and check out, because he's looking for the traitor. I'm gonna look for the murderer.
Okay.
Then we got our bases covered.
Perfect. So the lot of you will split up then and each go in your own direction. We'll start with Grum. Grum, you make your way to the tower. The tower is built of very old stone, and it has stood here for several hundred years. It's really not in use as much anymore, because while it did have the ability to be seen by some of the other villages, it was mainly meant to be kind of for the village itself and for the men who might be out in the fields and things like that to come back. When you arrive at the tower, you find there's one door that's at the bottom, and then there's this long staircase that sort of goes up. You see that the door is ajar.
And I will be sneaky, Grum, to try not to alert anybody, just in case they're maybe thinking that this fire is just recent. So I'm going to ask, would we have noticed if and when that fire went hot? How long?
It was sometime this morning. You realize, are you going to, okay, let's start at the bottom. So you only realized sort of when I mentioned it, but you're at the bottom. Okay. You're going to try to stealthily get in and get upstairs, sort of situation.
We'll push the door slightly open, just trying to see if I'm knowing that this hasn't been used in a while, or that there's just our friend that is dead was the purveyor of it, and now he's gone and this door's open. I'm not going to like what I'm feeling, and so my warding, is just to keep an eye out for things, and I want to move in there properly. Okay.
You will move in carefully. The bottom of it is just kind of this small one-room apartment, which is where Brock lived. So there's like a little cot in the corner. There's a small table with a couple of stools, and there's some cooking utensils, a little cooking fire, things of that nature. All of it looks like it's been used recently. Like it looks like been
lived in.
Yeah, it's been lived in. The one thing that sort of stands out is that there's nothing set out breakfast-wise, and the fire looks like it hasn't been restoked in the morning. So you're kind of getting this idea that maybe Brock didn't sleep here, didn't come here last night. So whatever happened might have happened last night, sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's the stairs that go up, and there used to be stone stairs that would go all the way up, but at some point a section of it fell out. So now there's like this, parts of it have been replaced by these rickety wooden contraptions, and that sort of replace chunks of it. But you can essentially, in a few rounds, would be able to get up to the top if you wanted. Do you want to go stealthily, or do you kind of just go? What do you want to do?
Can I tell? I'm going to pull the old trick. Can I tell if anybody recently has? Well, they would have. They wouldn't have lit the fire. Duh. I already answered my own question. So, but can I tell if they came back down?
Can you tell if they came back down? So why don't you go ahead and give me a investigation?
I would. Oh, well, I was going to say I'd love to, but I didn't. Now that I saw that roll. Come on, roll high, baby. Roll high. That'd be a 10.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You, with a 10, it's hard here down at the bottom. Like you might try again once you get upstairs to see what the situation is, but there's nothing right now that sort of indicates that.
I'll continue to make my way up very carefully. Yes.
Okay. You'll make your way up, and when you get to the top, basically there's like a trap door that would open up onto the top thing. It is also open. You can kind of see a little bit the smoke and the fire from the signal fire that's up there, and there's like just a straight ladder that goes up for the rest of the 10 feet or so to the platform.
Any movement? Just kind of give it a second pause while I'm looking.
You don't hear or feel anything.
Well, I'm a scarred man anyway. I'm wonder if I'm smart enough to want to. Do we want it? I guess I didn't check with my colleagues about putting out the fire. Here, you know what? I'm gonna see how dumb or stupid I am. I'm pretty dumb. I'm gonna go up the ladder.
You start going up the ladder. Give me a perception check as you arrive at the top.
I would love to give you a perception check. That's my baby. That will be a 17.
You just as you're about to climb to the top, you notice that the last few rungs have blood on it, like someone perhaps had an injured hand or something. When they either went up or down, it's hard to tell, but you can definitely tell there's blood. It's not that old. It's like, a few hours old at best.
Okay.
Okay. You'll continue climbing up. When you get up, you'll see that the fire was hastily written. It used to be this huge bonfire. There's still kind of a metal fire brazier kind of thing, but it's really just been stocked with enough wood and fuel to make a fire that you figure could be seen from, maybe a mile out or something like that. So obviously what you're figuring is that the bandits are camping out not too far and they were looking for it, and at dusk, just when it was still dark, it would have been just enough for them to sort of see something was happening. Right now it's kind of dying down, to be honest. It's not very big, so it's sort of dying down. It only has maybe like an hour or so left in it. There's a little bit of wood if you wanted to throw it on it, or if you want to let it go.
I'm gonna let it go.
What else do you do up there?
Well, check for any other clues. If there is the blood anywhere else noticeable here, other than maybe on some wood.
What was your perception check? It was
17.
17. As you look around, you don't notice anything else. You're about to turn around and leave, and you notice something a little strange. And it's not here, but it's over by the mine. You could have sworn that the there's in front of where the mine is, there are a bunch of old wagons that used to be that were on rails that would have been used to and there's a huge door that's been built, but there's like a smaller door inside that would just be big enough for a mining cart to be pushed through. And when you look at it, you're pretty sure there used to be 3 old rusting carts outside of the mine that had been there for fucking ages. Now there seems to be 2. There doesn't seem there is 2. You're pretty sure there used to be 3.
Locked away. Okay. And I will make note. And then I will, if nothing else catches my eye, I will go back down and check out the abode just a little bit more for anything. If maybe there's a little food there, I might eat something real quick. Just, because I don't want it to go to waste.
Not a problem.
Yeah, and then we'll head back. As
you're coming down, you'll find, there's a little bread and jam there. Just enough to make a little snack. Hanar, as Grum is taking care of the business up high, you're taking care of the business down low, which is how you like it. You're mixing and matching. At this point, you're getting a lot of pushback from the ladies because they're like, no, Hanar, this is really not the time. And, even though you're trying to no, look, your reputation kind of precedes you, and you're finding kind of, so you maybe you figure that kind of hanging on the outskirts and listening in rather than sort of confronting people would be a better way to go. Is there anything specific you want to do, or do you kind of want to do just that, do kind of a circulating around and tending in the air?
Yeah, luckily he does have some of his companions who are quite receptive. And at this point, his main technique is to lead a couple of them in some yoga. And so he's doing some yoga with some of the ladies, in particular Bonnie Acorn Grinder, who is a close friend, but he's never actually slept with Bonnie. But she's quite into the yoga. So they're doing yoga, and he's just asking her, Bonnie, have you heard anything weird going on at the distillery? I mean, it seems like there's been some new help in town recently, perhaps, or maybe somebody's, getting, maybe doing some things that a little underhanded, a little sketchy, aside from me.
Give me a, we'll call it a persuasion roll.
All right.
I think the surname is scared away.
I'm going to use my
activity
inspiration on that one, which is much better. 22.
So as she's doing the dog welcoming the sun, she's finding it a little bit difficult to talk because of the position of her head. She'll say, "No, I haven't heard anything," and then you keep sort of questioning her and kind of trying to draw in. At some point, she does mention something that you find kind of interesting. Your friend, what was her name? Acorn Grinder. What was her first name?
Bonnie.
Bonnie. Bonnie is one of the. She works part-time, sort of as the person who handles who staffs the infirmary. So when people in the village kind of get hurt and whatnot, she'll tell you that this morning she wasn't on duty, and while I'm at it, what was Misty doing at your place last night, Hanar? I heard her talk this morning about the fact that she spent the night over at your place. I thought,
it was Misty and Tammy and myself. We were having some tea.
Tammy also. She falls down from her dog worshiping the sun into the praying mantis.
Beautiful kombucha that I just brewed up last week, and it's primed. And so we were having a little kombucha and smoking a little bit of that sweet leaf and having a time.
You tried the kombucha line with me last week. Well, look.
It's even better this week. Isn't it, Bonnie?
I don't even know what to tell you. As she assumes the Black Widow position. I don't even know what to tell you.
Impressive.
I guess maybe I saw something this morning, but now I don't know that I want to tell you.
Well, if you remember anything, let me know. And, when all this is over, Bonnie, stop by and I will gladly share some of the kombucha with you.
Oh, I know. I saw something this morning. I just don't know if you deserve that I tell you. What have you done for me lately? She says as she assumes the position of the demanding shrew.
You have been practicing, Bonnie, and
Are these yoga positions or tavern names?
They
I
are
don't know. I'm just fucking making them up as I go here. This is all YOLO. It's all YOLO.
Look, Bonnie. Oh, let me make one little adjustment. There you go. I'll just adjust her hips a little bit. Look, all I'm trying to do here is save the town from impending doom. We've got Flash on the scene. He's over there somewhere. Grum just shot up like I'm not even going to say what, a rocket. What's a rocket? Up into that tower there. I don't know where Ludgrim is. Probably got his nose buried in a book. Someone's got to do something around here to save the goddamn town. And if it's not going to be me and Tammy and Misty and Carla and Molly and you, Bonnie, then I don't know who it's going to be. I think all of us get together, great minds, bring it together, a little kombucha, come up with a solution. But in the meantime, maybe just tell me what you heard.
Well, first I'll tell you kombucha sucks.
Okay, that's a personal opinion. It's fine. I respect that.
She says that she assumes the position of the avenging angel.
Oh my God.
This morning, Ethel was manning the infirmary, but I went by. I've been itching fierce, and I went to get a cream. Have you been there, man? And I overheard her talking with one of the workers from the distillery who had cut his hand. And I say his hand because although I didn't see him, I distinctly heard a male voice who hurt his hand this morning, who cut his hand before coming into work. Now, I didn't see him.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Fantasy Animal Vegan. Hand. I promise to use them just against Dave, too.
Nice.
Well deserved, thank you.
Rot grubs. The worst.
Oh, come on. You gotta clean.
I don't know if that helps you, but...
A man with a hurt hand. Bonnie, I think this is just the nut we need to crack this case wide open.
Well, they don't call me Acorn Grinder for nothing.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
No problem. Here, have some of the cream. Just put it on all the areas. If it looks redder than the rest, just
he squirts them in his hand and just reaches down into his buckskin pants.
What did I ever see in you?
Oh, whoa.
No, yeah, I got the mint one. It's a little refreshing.
It burns a little bit if you get in the wrong spot, so watch out.
This mint, man.
Okay.
So armed with this knowledge, and this cream, you will head back to try and reconvene with your buddies.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the distillery,
where the real business is being done.
Yeah.
Flash and Ludgrim, you arrive at the distillery. You see Dora, daughter of Eckbert, who's kind of running the show, is busy counting barrels. And when she sees you coming over, she's like, how many barrels do you think they want? I mean, I can put 13 in there if I stack them sideways. I can probably get 15. Now what I'm thinking is if we just give him 13, maybe they'll just take 13, but if I put 15,
giving anyone any damn barrels. Be quiet, woman.
If you move Brock's body, you can probably put an extra one.
Let's just all be calm.
She hauls back. She hauls back, and I'm going to use an advantage on it. She hauls back. I lied. I'm not going to use them all against A. I'm going to use one against Scott right now. She hauls back and punches you right in the nose, Farron, for what you just said. She hits with 17. I'll give her a +2 to hit, so she hits armor class 19.
Let me consult my character sheet. Oh, as it stands, that does hit.
Oh, damn it!
She just hauls back and smacks you one right in the nose. You don't talk to me like that, Farron. You never talk to me like that. Do you understand? My father built this place, and I keep it running, and I keep this village from falling apart. So you're going to come in here and talk to me like that? I will punch you in the nose every time, so help me God. Is that clear?
Fine.
Does she have a pocket?
My decision, though, to not do that again.
She does, in fact, have all their overalls have like this little pocket here where they would put some of their tools and whatnot. Hers is right there.
How much damage was that, by the way? I think I missed that in all the fracas.
Oh. That'll be 3 damage.
Okay. Owie.
Anyway,
I'll take a drag off my smoky treat.
You should be.
I was about to say before I was.
It's not her.
No, not her.
Me?
Nothing.
What are you on about? Look, what's going on? Are we packing for these guys to take this stuff away?
Well, I hope not to, is what I meant to say. My apology. I get a little excited. I'm excited about fucking up some humans, frankly. And I got a little.
Surely you don't intend to fight. You're all old and ancient, and we have no warriors. We certainly.
I know. But there has to be a way to not give away all our thing. You know what? This reminds me of a story once I heard.
No, we don't have time for those stories.
No, it's good though. It's good.
No, we don't have.
There's no time for that. He was like an outlaw.
No, we know. No time.
It was in Italy, I think. I don't know what that is. But,
it's in Mordor somewhere.
It was the town was called Lago, and he rode into town, and they were going to be taken over by a bunch of brigands, and he did something and got them. They painted the whole town red and everything.
I know. I've heard that story. That the 7 Elven Wardens.
No, that's a different.
Pretty sure it wasn't elves.
High Plains, something or other. Grifter. I don't know.
Farron,
but at any rate, they had a good plan. If I just remember it now, we could do it.
Fantasy Animal Vegan has given you a advantage, but only if you get to finish the story.
Well, they won, but I don't recall how. Anybody ever hear that story? A feller by the name of Clint Westwood told me it once, I think.
Clint Westwood's sitting right there under you. Who's that handsome feller that just took Duff's place?
That hat's killing me. It's burning my man.
Oh my God. You need some of that cream on it.
Yeah, I do.
She looks at you, Ludgrim, and goes, Legrim, you're smart, right? You're educated. Like,
He's
can
a
you?
putz.
Can you? What are we doing? What are we gonna do?
All right, can you keep a secret?
Of course I can.
Not you.
Sure.
We're looking for a murderer
And a traitor.
and a traitor.
And here's how we know that it ain't you. You
Probably
got all
the
your,
same
you got all your
person.
pocketses.
You're saying someone from the distillery would have done this? Oh, is that Brock?
Brock's dead.
He's
Brock's
dead,
baby.
Jim.
We found him this morning.
Well, we can settle that right now. Come with me. She power marches into the distillery.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Not so fast.
What?
Yeah, wait up. Hang on.
Oh. Would
You
you?
don't call me Flash for nothing.
Yeah. Look, they make chairs, right, with wheels.
Yeah.
It's
Anyways,
for old people.
she walks in and she yells, "Fallon, Belther, get your asses here!" And you hear grumbling and whatnot, and you see Fallon comes down from where he was up on one of the pots, taking some measurements, and the other one, Belther the Mattock, puts down the 7 barrels that he was carrying. Boom. And the two of them approach, and as they approach, you check out their uniforms and look at the pocket, and what you see is that we're taking a break right now. Thank you very much, everyone. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Please hang out with us. This is crazy. That's gone completely off the rails. I had a plot, and now the plot lives somewhere in it's out of Middle Earth, and I think it's moved to Star Wars. But we're going to have some fun with it. This gang is out of control, and I love it. So we're going to take a short break. We won't be gone very long. What are you guys going to do during your break? Anything interesting planned?
I gotta grab some drink. That's it.
Or beverages.
Beverages.
Perhaps a snack.
Beverages.
Little yoga, probably.
All right.
With the nutcracker.
I've had enough yoga.
Yeah, that's all right, Ty. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Just hang out. Don't you fret about it. So thank you very much for hanging out with us. We super appreciate you. And we will be back very shortly. Thank you very much. Cheers. We're back. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. We're having a whale of a time here. Between, Wiley just killing us with his performance
Hey,
here.
you invited me. You invited me.
I love it. I love every minute of it. Why did you guys switch around?
We didn't, but
Hey, you look different.
that's Zoom for you. Somebody blocked her. Oh, it's probably when you went dark, Bleak.
I didn't go dark.
You didn't go. Oh, sorry.
It wasn't me.
Zero Dark 30.
It wasn't.
We sure did go bonkers, didn't we?
It did.
Let's try.
While I try to fix this travesty. In fact, I might just leave it like this because,
Move people around in Zoom.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's
just
what I'll
move-
do.
just grab
How
one of
about we
those
go around again and you tell us a little bit, tell us who you are and tell us who you're playing tonight as a recap. And we'll start with the man who's killing us. And who's slaying us softly with his song, Wily Hobbit.
Oh, hey, everybody. I'm Wily Hobbit, Scott on Earth, but here in Pretend Land, I'm Wily Hobbit, and I'm playing Farron Iron Fist, also known as Flash, the former scout messenger explosives expert. Yeah, and we're investigating a murder. And I'm from the Blue Mountains off to the east, really, toward Mordor, which is actually south and east. Yeah, that's me. Now I'm Chris.
It's weird.
It's your minigame.
Nope, now I'm Duff. I'm confused.
This is the worst. I hate you guys. I hate everyone. I hate everyone.
So that's me.
We're getting close.
We're
getting close.
It's like
Not
playing.
really.
It's like playing Tetris when you're blind. It's awesome.
The shell game.
He's just not gonna.
There you go.
Now I'm Chris again.
No, get nice.
One more.
There we
it
go.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, nailed
Awesome.
it.
That's
That's
awesome.
Chris, let's go with
Hey,
you.
everybody.
What's up? What's happening?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm Chris, WikiVA on Discord and Twitch. I'm playing Ludgrim Runescribe, also from the Blue Mountains, wherever that is.
West of here.
And he's
It's
west
actually
of here.
of the Shire. Yeah.
And he is a scholar. So he can scribe runes, hence his clever name. A little bit of healing, maybe.
The scholar.
Having a
likes
good
to
time.
holler.
He's a scholar who likes to holler. Oh, I wish I thought of that.
You did on a T-shirt.
Get that on t-shirts. Stat Duff, you've lost a little bit of hair, but you're still as handsome as ever.
That's right. I appreciate that. That was killing me. The itch was unbearable. Finally.
Now you know.
Folks,
Now
yes.
you know what the women of the village
The
feel.
itch. And I'm used to bad itches, so that's okay. My character, so he doesn't bathe much. But yes, I'm Duff563, also known as Lord Praetor, over on the Praetor Rejects channel, streaming goodness usually, though we're a little bit on hiatus, and also part of Praetors and Riffs Astral Menagerie, executive con producing, digital producing for both Gary Con, Gamehole Con, and a few other individuals. And so that keeps me pretty busy. But love being here and appreciate the invite to the channel and to the game. And I am playing Gram Hustel Ravestein, which is another name for cheese shaker in another language. And I am he's a purveyor of cheese. He has this Parmesan cheese that he has discovered on his wandering. I'm a wandering warden, and I've got it in a little shaker thing that I've learned how to grate up, and I put it on everything to make people happy. So,
Nice.
that's me.
Nice. That's you making people happy. I like it. Thanks so much, Duff, for being here with us tonight, and for that, urine joke earlier. Dave, DM Dave, you all know him, but he'll tell us about himself anyways.
I'm Dave. I'm playing Hanar Grumblegrip, who is a retired quartermaster, treasure hunter, aspiring musician, local yoga instructor, and purveyor of illicit substances, who has been really enjoying his retirement and is not looking forward to having to wield the axe again. But things happen, and he's gonna have to save this town with his friends,
Or
That's
try
an art.
or die trying. Die
Yeah.
trying.
We don't die.
The women of the village are in a bit of an uproar because they're starting to realize what a player Hanar is, and
he's not really a player. He's very straightforward, and he's just he's
just
loving.
open.
He's got
He's
a
just
lot.
open, yeah.
He's open. He's got a lot of love to give, and
He's a giver. He's a giver.
He's a giver. He likes to grasp life by the acorns and just live it, baby.
someone's got to. Someone's got to. I mean, Jesus died for your sins. You may as well enjoy them. Just before we went on break, you lot had found old Brock had been murdered in town, and you discovered that there was in town not only a murderer but also a traitor. Soon after, a group of brigands arrived, basically trying to shake you down. Most of your able-bodied men and women have gone to a nearby village to help with a tunnel collapse in a mine, leaving only a couple of old scrubs like you and people who can't really defend themselves to defend the village. So they figured you were easy pickings, strolled in, demanded a tithe that they're going to come back and pick up. Meanwhile, you've been investigating, trying to figure out who the murderer of Brock was. You did manage to find a couple clues. One, there was a message that you found in Brock's hand that sort of indicated what the plan was, but also the fact that the message came in a pocket that had been ripped out of a set of overalls from a worker down at the distillery. You hustled out there. You've discovered a couple other clues. Mainly, you're all kind of arriving at the distillery kind of at the same time, but right now Ludgrim and Flash are there. There are 3 workers there. There is Dora, the daughter of the owner. There is a giant, powerfully built dwarf named Belthier the Mattock, who could certainly kill someone with his bare hands, and one of the master distillers, Thalon Broadhand, also is there. You've managed to you've met Dora, realized she doesn't have a ripped pocket, and you asked her to call the other 2 over. And just before break, they were walking towards you, and as they walk towards you, Flash and Ludgrim, you see, without a doubt, that neither of them have a ripped pocket on their overalls.
Damn it! Where do you keep all your aprons and whatnot there,
They
Dora?
changed.
Yeah, maybe we'd have a look in the lockers.
Everyone
The apron locker. Yeah.
Everyone who works here has got a couple pairs. They're responsible for keeping them clean. Hey, T-Cat. Responsible for keeping them clean selves.
Damn it.
Are you certain that it was, what led you to...
Show him your pocket. She'll see it. See that?
I hold up the pocket.
She picks it up and looks at it. Yes, that is definitely one of ours. The other gets, can we get back to work? Where do you want these barrels, boss? Meanwhile, both Hanar and Grum, you arrive on the spot, seeing the lot of them, seeing Thalon start looking at this whole situation, kind of bemused, like what the hell's going on. Belthier the Mattock, who just kind of wants to get back to work, and Dora and your other 2 friends are there looking at this letter in this pocket that they have.
No luck finding the miscreant. Everybody here got all their pockets.
Do they look guilty? Either of them?
No.
At this point, Dora's back on the menu, right? Because
I want to motion them to come closer, even though they might want to stand upwind from me. But to stop yelling out everything that's going on. But I want to let them know that what I found, the most important part was the fire. And we know when it was lit, but it has been lit for a while, and the corresponding with the death of our friend, but there was some blood, as though someone had hurt themselves or was hurt getting up the ladder to the top of the tower.
Wonder if it's the same fella missing the pocket.
As we're having this conversation, can I look over at the workers and see if any of them looks guilty or is trying to overhear what we're saying? Or
all 3 of them are kind of huddled together. She's showing them the pocket and kind of explaining what you guys have talked about. One of the things you do notice is all 3 of them are wearing work gloves.
Does any of them look like they've got an injured hand?
Hard to tell with the gloves.
That was supposed
to find out, Grum. There's only one way to find out.
Well, that was supposed to elicit someone who got a clue earlier about an injured person. They don't remember their own clues. We're doomed.
Yeah.
We're doomed.
These things happen.
Everyone else remembers it.
Yeah.
Well, because you said the lady said something about it. It was a story. Sorry, I don't mean to clue this out, but someone was told something at the bar or told somewhere.
They're not bringing it up.
I know.
Well, that's why I'm looking to see if anybody's injured. Okay. So if they have gloves on, I'm going to go over and I'm going to ask them to show us their hands.
Okay. Yep.
I was noodling for a perception check, but I wasn't getting the prompts. So, I would like to
I'm trying to slam it with a hammer. Just give it to us.
Can I make a perception check, Bleak, to go over and see if anybody's injured, and if not, I will attempt to intimidate them to take their gloves off.
No, well, you could start by going over and role playing. What do you want to do? Do you want to go over? You want to talk to them? What do you want to do? Like, because you can look all you want. They all have gloves, so you're not going to be able to see. Just tell me what you want to do. Like, you want to roll intimidate, but what are you doing? Do you go up there and slap one around? Do you?
No, I'm going to go up to them and I'm going to explain to them that, look, this is a very dire situation. We know that someone was injured. Someone was seeing Ethel this morning. When I say Ethel, I'm going to see if anybody raises an eyebrow. I'm going to say, for the sake of the village, I need you to take all your gloves off, and I need you to do it right now.
You see Belthir de Mattock, the big guy, narrows his eyes at you when you say all this. What exactly is it you're accusing us there, buddy?
I'm accusing you of being involved in this. Now take your goddamn gloves off before I take them off for you.
Involved how?
You gonna take the gloves off?
You gonna make me take them off?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna punch him.
All right, go for it.
All right. I'm going to use my advantage from Fantasy Animal Vegan. Thank you very much. All right. So I'm assuming I add a strength modifier to this for a total of 15.
All right. Yeah, that will hit. That will totally hit. Give me some damage.
What do I roll for damage?
Probably a D6 plus your strength bonus.
All right. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's going to be an 8.
You reach out, you clog this guy. This guy's like 3 times your size. He's just muscle. His muscles have muscles that have muscles, and currently they're flexing. And you just sort of jump up and reach out and punch him right in the jaw. Lights out. The second you hit him, the glass jaw goes, and you see the light just sort of ping in his eyes. And he falls down. And as he falls down, you see Thalin, the distillery master, fucking turn around and just ditch and start running for all he's worth.
I look down at the guy I just punched and knocked down. I'm like, sorry about that. And then I start taking off after the other guy.
Can I shoot him with the bow?
You can roll initiative.
Oh yeah, baby.
What do we roll for that? Is that a D20?
It's just like
D20.
Yeah, just like
D20, but I get
advantage on this.
I get to add my, what was it? Where was that? Wisdom modifier. Okay, cool.
Cool. Big die again. Big die.
I got to add an 8 to it. Is that what I'm sitting there saying? Initiative 5. Proficient. Where's my wisdom? 3. Okay.
Oh no.
13 for me.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, I want to put an arrow on somebody.
So I'll say that you guys were over here sort of chatting, and he went over there to talk. I don't even know if I have. I wasn't expecting you to. I probably have something over here.
NPC tokens.
Yeah. I probably have. Okay, all right. It's that good. Air. This will be the lusciously locked Dora.
That is some nice hair.
Indeed. And so this is the guy you just punched in the face. So he's on the ground. Dora with her beautiful beard standing next to you. And this guy just sort of takes off running like a bat out of hell. I will do initiative here in a second. Did you all roll it?
Yep.
I'll ask you in a second what your initiative is.
Can we put them in? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can put in your initiative. So, Flash, what'd you get?
21.
And Bloodgrim
I got a 7.
and everybody else fill in there. Where's what did you get, Dave?
12.
Oh, he changed his name.
Yeah, instead of
I was like,
that's fine. No biggie. All right, she's gonna go at 2.
Take your eyes off the female dwarf. All right. Okay. Get in the now.
Fallon will go at 8, and the other guy is on the ground, not moving. All right, at 21, Flash, you see Thorn, the distillery master, just turn around and just start booking it. What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to try to book it after him, and I actually move at 30.
So that's fine. So
of tireless and swift. So I'm going to go right after him.
How you walk around with a cane?
So here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. If you want to spend your action to actually run over there, unless you have something that lets you do like an extra dash or something like that, I'll let you kind of get up to him, but that's going to be your action to run.
Yeah, I'm gonna get over there. Yeah.
All right, no problem. So you sort of ditch, step on the barrels, and then you're kind of just up behind him there. He's just kind of almost just ahead of you. Next up would be Grum. Grum.
Well, do I have a shot on him?
Yeah, sure. Just don't roll a 1.
Yeah. Do I have any? That's Dex. Okay. Let's actually use a small one. Let's go with this one. 18. Yeah.
Are you shooting to kill, or are you trying to just...
No, I want to put him down. I want to kneecap him.
So with 18, you totally imagine you draw your bow, you pull that, you shoot, it gets him right in the thigh, and he starts to sort of hobble. And
that's all.
It sort of slows him down. Let's see on his action if he falls. From that, he goes at 8, so it's going to be him. And actually, Hanar next.
I'm not going to use my double attack. I just wanted to put one in him.
Okay.
So.
You at least reduce his movement, so Hanar.
Yep, that's all.
Hanar is going to chase after him and attempt to tackle him.
Okay, since you're closer, I'll let you do both. So you start running, you kind of get to him, so you can go ahead and make an attack roll to see if you can tackle him.
Okay, I'm going to use another one of my advantages. Thank you, Fantasy Animal Vegan. Oh, that was good, because the first was a natural 1. What am I adding to it for this? Well,
it'll be your dexterity, I would think.
Dex. Ooh, all right, so 21 total.
All right, pretty good. So yeah, you managed to... He's kind of hobbled now because of this thing, and you just kind of pass by the Flash on the left, and then you just jump over and grab him, and with his wounded leg, he just sort of crumples and hits the ground, and you can pile up on top of him, and Flash is there
one
also.
Arm and like
he's fighting you off. Yeah. Get off of me!
There you go, big boy. There you go. Settle down. Settle down. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale.
I'm trying to get his gloves off. Where do you think you're going?
You start pulling off his gloves, and you eventually will realize that he does have a wound in his hand, and he's got like a little bandage around it. Damn you! You old codgers!
Kicked your ass, didn't we?
This old codger was aiming for your head. You look, I hit your ass.
Yeah, I killed Brock. That
what?
He should have just taken the money.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you betray the village?
Money for what?
You wouldn't understand. Do you ever create anything with your life? Do you ever make anything with your life that make people happy? No. You just go to war and kill people and I made something. I created the single best single malt whiskey that's ever been made. And do I get any recognition for it? Is my name on the bottle? No, it's Barley Stone single malt. Well, I made it. I'm the one who tested. I'm the one who's got the formula. I'm the one who makes all this, and I get nothing out of it. Nothing. I'm just treated like a fucking daily laborer here.
You need
Did you ever
cheese.
ask to have your name on it? Did you ever ask?
I did. Her father was a pain in the ass. He wouldn't let me get anything. I unfortunately
Yeah,
signed
you're
a
right. He
dumb
was.
contract when I
That's
started.
why you killed Brock.
Look. You can renegotiate contracts. Look,
You ever heard of a thing called free agency?
exactly what he said.
It's too late
Sprinkle some
now,
cheese
anyways.
on him.
Well, yeah,
He
you're
needs,
a murderer.
he needs happiness. Have some cheese.
Oh God, that cheese
Oh,
reeks.
is that?
Smells like dirty boots.
Yeah, what is that?
It's deliciousness. Makes people happy.
No.
Is that dandruff? That's disgusting. It's
Well,
too
it
late now,
seems to
anyways.
me, if it seems to me that if you're a traitor, the only way you can redeem yourself is by giving us the information we need to stop these bandits.
Step on his hand.
Ah! What's it gonna
I
matter
step on-
anyways?
I
You're not
step
gonna be
on the
able to
wrong
stop them. There's like 40 of them. They're just gonna roll all over you. You best just would you get off my
I,
hand?
s- I
Would
stand
you
on
want
The
his
biggest
uninjured
problem
hand.
we're going to have figuring out where to bury all their bodies.
They're
He might
gonna
not
kill
be
you.
making. Yeah, he might not be making his barley, his liquor anymore. If I bring out my axe and say, pull his hand out, you want to lose the hand?
No! Don't do that! Don't do that! It's my livelihood.
I get it. And tell us what's up. Tell us what we need to know.
You
He'll
can't
do it,
stop
too.
the bandits, and it doesn't matter. The bandits are not even. I don't work for those idiots. I work for some very
Who the hell
dangerous
do you
people.
work for?
Who's
Who
the
are they?
asp?
Show him the note.
Yeah, who's the asp?
Those idiots are. They're just being used, like everybody else. They're a distraction to get anyone else in the village away from the real action.
Which is?
The mine. It's got to be the mine. I will tell them then there's a car. And there's a cart missing from the mine as though it's back inside.
Look, all I know is
Oh,
those thugs out there are pretty dangerous, and there's a lot of them. But the guys that put this all together, they're a different breed. They call themselves the Headless Cross. They got this weird sort of mark on their face, and they're after something. Their leader's this orc called Bane Aradoc, and he's after something in the mine.
orcs?
Orc, you say?
Oh boy.
Did you say orc?
Yeah,
No, I'm
I said
pissed.
orc, but he's strange. He's not like one of the other orcs. He
Shoulda
doesn't.
known.
He's what did you call it earlier? A free agent. He's like some sort of hardcore assassin killer from down south somewhere. And
Would I know anything about him?
go ahead, roll
Yeah, I'd
some
like
old
to
lore.
old lore.
like that
option.
I'll put my head
Yeah,
together with
baby.
Grum to assist him because I am proficient in old lore.
Go for it. You can roll with
And I
advantage
roll-
if he's assisting you.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Do the daddy some good.
Uh-oh. I know that look.
Shit.
Come on, Grum.
Apparently, I didn't pay attention that day in orc school. I rolled a total would be a 10.
You remember one orc named Stain Faradoc, but you're not sure it's the same one.
Crap.
Yeah, Stain
I rolled a-
Faradoc. Stain Faradoc was a bard. He was a terrible bard at that.
I rolled a 29. if
Oh
that
well,
matters.
you have in fact heard about not only Bane Aradoc, but you've also heard of the Headless Cross. They're a group that started out as a bunch of treasure hunters, but have sort of evolved into some sort of cult. They're out from Tharbad down in the south, and Bane Aradoc, you know, is not part of that group, but has a reputation, a very dark reputation as an assassin and bounty hunter, and your guess is that he's probably being hired by this Headless Cross group. And if they got the juice to hire someone like Bane Aradoc, they're pretty bad news. And Bane himself is pretty dark business. You've heard of several stories of him back in your traveling days. It certainly sends a shiver.
We're in over our heads, boys.
Yep.
Well, we sure are, but what do they want here? It ain't about the liquor. That's what I'm saying. I think the four of us are headed up to the mine.
So are they in the mine now?
Do we know? We look down to the dude. Who's up in the mine?
I don't know. That wasn't. All I had to do was signal them once most of the able-bodied men and women left the village, and just.
Well, you didn't count on us, did you?
No, I didn't. But
dumbass.
Step on his hand again.
I step on his uninjured hand again.
Look, I had to rig up some explosives in case things went south for them, and well, the thugs thought it was just in case something went wrong, but I got a message from the Headless Cross saying that regardless of what happened, I was supposed to light it up. I was supposed to burn down this place. It would have just destroyed the entire town. Get off my hand! The barrels are behind the still there.
I'll go have a look at the barrels, being the resident explosive expert.
Yeah, so when you go around... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you go around, you do notice that there's where they store all the whiskey. You kind of go around and take a look quickly, and you notice one of the barrels has been switched. And when you approach it and you smell it, you know it's what's called a fire barrel. Basically, it's meant to ignite really rapidly and explode and spread fire. And the fire, it's kind of like it's got some sort of tar in it that just sticks to things and keeps burning. If that thing were to explode in here, it would be devastating. The entire village would likely burn.
Yeah, we need to get this barrel the hell out of here. Get it down to the river.
So what happens when the men come back? What happens with the orc and his cult?
Their plans to be out of here before that happens. They're gonna do whatever they need to do tonight and get out of here.
And they're doing it in the mine.
Someone's got to be.
They didn't tell me that part of the plan. I just figured that.
I feel
there
like
was some sort of diversion.
Hunting is in order.
Knock that
SOB out.
Thing before, but I think I'm up to the challenge.
We don't have a choice.
Dust off the old battle axe, but
this is some pretty bad work.
Is there
I'm a pretty bad smelling dwarf.
Yeah.
I say tie that guy up or knock him out or take his head off. I don't care. He's not worth us anymore. He killed one of our own.
Well, he'll hang
he should
for that.
face justice for it, for sure.
Exactly.
You guys tie him up. Just give me a hand with this barrel.
And I would do whatever would need to be done correctly, hopefully, carefully,
hopefully,
to move said barrel to a place that isn't quite as concerning for said barrel. Maybe down to the river, if I could be permitted to do so.
So when you take a look at the barrel, you realize you're going to have to. It's already been set. It's going to be pretty dangerous to get out of there. So you're going to have to pull your old skills out of your ass.
No problem.
And try to defuse the situation, as it were.
Okay.
Don't really pull it out of your butt.
No,
please.
You approach it with some trepidation.
Well, I've got thieves' tools. I've got
So
I got jeweler's tools, and I have a ripping sleight of hand. So I think that's going to be my
that's
tactic.
where you're going to go. Now, here's the situation. You're going to make a sleight of hand roll. You're going to make it against. I'm going to roll his sleight of hand to see if he was better at setting it up than you did. You can spend an advantage if you want.
Wait.
If someone can, yep. Ludgrim.
I am going to use a rhyme of lore on Flash, and that will get him an extra D8. 8, I believe.
Okay,
Can
so
I
a
also
2d20
can I
and a
also
D8.
help with the sleight of hand check?
Absolutely.
I have an artifact that I wear called Telok Dogan, which is an arm ring, and it allows me to. I have proficiency of sleight of hand, and I can obtain magical successes with it.
Nice.
So this might be a situation where that might be kind of important.
All right.
So
Well, I will tell you
I will
this.
assist.
So both of you will roll. Okay. And we will consider it an advantage situation, but I want you to roll separately. Don't roll ones. If you roll ones, it's going to get ugly. But other than that, we will take whichever roll of the two is best. But I will say this. Because Hanar can get a magical success with this thing, regardless of what happens, even if you fail, you roll one, it's not going to blow up in your face. You're preserved from it going that badly. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not you can dismantle it now or have to figure something else out later.
Okay. Well, I would urge all the folks in the distillery to get out of there, except Hanar and myself.
Probably.
Am I rolling with advantage?
Well,
Or is his
Hanar
thing
is going to
gonna
roll
be the
his thing
advantage?
as the
Okay.
advantage, yeah,
Gotcha.
basically.
Perfect. Okay. So D20 plus D8, right?
And Dave, I will say that it's not going to use up your magical advantage. You can still have it. Right?
All right. Sweet. Thank
I
you.
rolled pretty
I
high,
get it.
so do good, guys.
Ooh,
I get a +9 bonus, so you can just...
that's pretty nice. I got a 23.
I have expertise. I rolled a 16, and is 9 or 6 on an 8-sider? Oh, I guess that's a 6. It's 22, and 9 is 31.
Oh, doggy.
Woohoo, doggy! So the 31 beats this guy's 26. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a high roll.
Yeah, he rolled an 18. So with a lot of sweat and the two of you kind of working together, you manage not only to sort of remove the ignition item that was attached to it, but you manage to remove the barrel out of it, and you can secure it safely in a wagon. You can tell someone to just drive it out of town and dump it in the water, which would be the sort of safest thing to do. So you'll spend a little bit of time.
Friendly around here.
Yeah, you'll spend a little bit of time doing that, getting that ready and sort of throwing it out there, so that it's kind of like mid-afternoon-ish by the time all that's sort of sorted. You've gotten rid of that. You've taken the Thalon, the master distiller. You've thrown him in what passes for a jail in town. You get some people watching him.
Probably
the rest
splash
of the
a little cold water in Belthier's face to wake him up at some point and kind of apologize to him. Help him up. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to hit you so hard, buddy.
Give him a weapon and bring him with us.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been waiting for so long for you to hit on me. I just didn't think it would hurt this bad.
Eyebrow raise?
His eyebrow raises also. Shall we revisit
My other
this
eyebrow
later?
raises?
Touche, baby.
Something else raises? He's like, talk to me after.
Have you ever done,
We need a
have you ever done
weapon.
yoga?
Let's
Belthier,
get a-
have you ever done yoga?
No, but I'm feeling a little bit kind of tension in my shoulder. I feel a little bit stiff.
We'll limber you up.
To help with
What the
that.
hell's going on here?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Gotta go to work, Beltier. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah. So, all right. So you'll start that out. The rest of the village have started filling out the daily pots and all that because they figure you guys are just fucking around. You're not going to do anything. So they've started, getting ready in case the thugs come back. You realize you have a few hours now before the thugs sort of return if you want to try and visit the mine and see what. I put the mine on the map, and you had to know something would happen there because a mine is a terrible thing to waste.
Right. So we head to the mine, boys.
I'm moving his stuff on his map now. Here, one
This
second.
whole one shot was about that joke, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah.
Good night,
I'm
everybody.
not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, it was. I know.
Damn
you
Canucks. Come on now. Come on.
That was good.
As we walk out of the distillery, I'm going to say to Flash, I like yoga. No one's ever asked me to do any
You
yoga.
fold me up in one of them positions, you won't be able to unfold me. Plus, dwarves in yoga pants? Are you kidding me?
Question my acceptance of this role now.
All right, so we're
Play it to it. Oh, look at this beautiful map. Look at this. We're the 7 dwarfs -3. Away we go.
We lost.
Before
3 on
you
the
get
way.
to enter the mine, you walk towards the mine. You make your way towards the mine, and when you arrive there, you do see the massive iron gate that's been built in front of what used to be the door to block access to it. Finest of dwarven craftsmanship, super solid, unbreakable. You do see the rails, and it is true there are 2 mining wagons there, and there's clearly one that's missing. There's a little door that's built into the bigger door to allow the things. It is closed right now, but there is this little door there that's to allow the little wagons to go through. You're standing in front of this door. No one's opened this door in 100 years.
But does it look like it's... But did you say it was open or not open?
Not opened.
I'm going to go try to open the smaller
I think we're
door.
going to try it. Yeah.
You head on over to the... So you can take...
Tracks? Do you have any tracks? Footprints?
Orc prints.
Right, so go... If you want to check for those that print action, I do believe that would be a hunting roll. Investigation or hunting would be fine.
Or nature?
I could assist. I've
I
got
would go
a
with
nature.
nicely proficient.
You tell me. No. Just so...
I would say it
You
has
have
to
a-
be hunting or investigation
Hunting?
if you want to try.
Hunting's fun. Well, let's see. Hunting I'm going to choose. Oh, yeah. Did you say you were assisting me there, Flash?
Yeah, I am proficient in hunting, so I would be more than happy to.
Well, let's see if I can pass at least one roll here.
You got this.
No promises.
Jesus, Duff. Get some dice.
It is sad. It is.
Somebody send him some dice, please.
These are new ones. These were some of Jay's. Okay, his giveaway dice, and they.
Yeah.
Hail me.
Never trust
Okay.
giveaway dice.
I didn't.
Yeah,
Not
no.
Jay Gasumba. Some bitch. Never mind. I didn't even barely found the 2 feet in front of me, so I'm not even going to tell you what the roll was.
So, Grum, you see Grum, known for his ability to track, gets down on all 4s, sniffs the ground, tastes it, puts an
Lick
ear
it, yes.
to it,
Mhm.
and then takes off in the direction of the village.
Where you going? Mine's this way.
Is he following our footsteps?
Yeah,
Apparently.
you figured it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I just started. Oh, they went this way. Totally lost now. Okay.
Could it have been us all the time?
Wow, I should have thought of that myself.
I'm the least person I would have suspected. But I was looking for me all along.
No one finds
That's
themselves.
enough. I'll come back in a second
If you
after
do
I
yoga,
realize
though-
what's going on.
You might get in touch with that inner self, Ludgrim. Some stretching, some breathing exercises.
Well, you do make it sound good. You make it sound real good.
It'll fill your cup, if you know what I mean.
I think I know exactly what you mean. What are we doing?
Don't worry about me. I will come to my
I'll
senses
have,
in a few
I'll have a
seconds.
look at the door, the smaller door, to see
Yeah.
if it's locked,
Oh, yeah, the door.
latched.
So the smaller door basically is meant to just open when the carts kind of push it, and it kind of swings either way depending on sort of what the cart's doing. It was, when the thing was sealed, it was welded shut. When you approach it, you see that the welds basically have been melded. I don't know if they would weld back then, but they'd have some sort of system there. You see they've been melded, but when you push on the trap, you push on it and it's not going anywhere.
It's clearly been fiddled with.
I'm going to look at the door and see if there's any runes or anything that's, runes have been inscribed on it or anything I
Yeah,
might
go
recognize.
ahead, my friend. I will say, give me a. I don't know. What would you like to give me,
Oh, well, I'll have to look at my sheet.
other than a list of insults? You can make a insight check, maybe, or old lore. You can make an old lore. I would say make an old
Oh,
lore.
Lord. I'd love to make that. That'd be better.
an old lore, I mean, you're in the title of that skill, so
26.
that's pretty good. You notice that there are several runes that are inscribed. They're very ancient, that are inscribed around this door, and you kind of maybe never really stopped to ponder or wonder. You didn't really have any interest in mine, and so on and so forth. Plus, you're a bookworm. You're not really like a terrain guy. But now that you're there and kind of looking at it, you realize that there are some pretty powerful protection runes that have been built around this door, as if there was really something they were trying to keep in there.
Keep in there?
Yeah.
Is it in Elvish?
No, it's Dwarven.
Are there moonlitters? Stand by.
So I'm going to say there's runes on these doors. They were put here to keep something inside the mine.
Or to keep us out.
No.
Maybe
Keep
we shouldn't
something
open
in.
this. Maybe we should leave this closed, guys. I mean,
Well, how else are we
wanna
going to get
open
in
this?
there?
look, if it's closed and we're not in there, hear me out. The orcs aren't in there unless there's a different route to get in there. Is there a different entrance? Do we know about a different entrance? Anyone? He looks around. Any of you?
I don't know.
See? No. So, if we open this up, Ludgrim, what are the chances that we're going to unleash something terrible and our karma's going to be all screwed up? Because I've been working really hard on getting things straight in my life, guys. The wars, that was a tough time for me. But I've been doing okay. I don't want to tip it in the other direction. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me just say this, Einar. I wouldn't inscribe a door with runes to keep something in as a joke. I'd only do it really if I wanted to keep something in.
This is what I'm talking about. So why are we opening this?
Well, currently we aren't. Actually.
But if the orc went in there, I mean, isn't he the source of our problems? We have two problems, really. We have the 40 guys who are going to come back and kill everybody. That's, problem one. And then problem two is this orc and his cult band. I mean...
Here's the thing, though. This orc story. We don't know if that's true. We know there's 40 guys that are going to come here at dusk and take down the town. But this orc thing seems fishy to me. I don't know.
But don't we know it's true? We've got the note. Everything he said jives with the note.
Where's the third cart then?
There must be some. I mean, there's something bad in the mine, but they must want it for some reason. Can we let them have it?
Buy off our town's safety by letting them go? I don't know. An orc. This guy, you said he's real bad. Probably just run us all down.
Well, he's a bounty hunter, so I'm thinking he's been hired by someone to get whatever this is. And he's using the 40 men as a distraction. Maybe if we get what's in there, we can stop the 40 men too.
We don't know
Maybe
what's in there.
something really good is in there.
I don't have time to meditate on it. Oh, shit. All right, let's go. Let's do it. You convinced me.
I did? Damn! Because I didn't really want to go in.
Shit! Who's going to open the door?
I think the answer's in there. I don't know what it is. Let's try it.
I just go right by him and kick it if I'm back to my senses.
Oh, there he goes.
You kick the little door for the thing?
Might as well.
You walk up right to it, you haul back, you kick it, you hear something snap and give way in your leg as it's like hitting immovable steel. It's just
It makes a big donk noise.
Well, that's a relief.
Is there any way for me to remove the runes or activate them?
Well, actually, you realize they're not active.
They're not active.
Yeah.
Someone's already removed them.
Oh,
I'll hit it with my hammer.
So there's some evidence that they've been breached already. Is that right?
Hey, by the way, the runes aren't active anymore. Someone turned them off already.
Can
Or
I just
whatever
go
you
open
do
the
to
door?
runes.
Like, can I just pull the door open?
Yeah.
Pull the door instead of kicking it in. Yeah, that'd probably be
Yeah,
smart.
I'm just gonna pull it open.
Yeah.
You pull it
Mhm.
open and you realize that the mining cart's on the other side and it's been jammed there. But when you pull it up, you...
Oh, look at that. There's your cart.
Touche, Blake. Touche. Okay.
All right, then.
You squeeze in,
Yep.
squeeze in, squeeze out. You find yourselves in this dark, dank, dusty, vile, the smell of it's been closed off forever just wafts over you. But more than that, you realize, as you can see in some of these places here, that there is
Something
strange, weird, dark red growths that have begun erupting from the ground everywhere and have started been spreading. I would like each of you to make a charisma saving throw. If you have any sort of advantage in saving throws against shadows, you can use them in this particular instance, as it is a save against shadow. You are looking for 15s.
Where do we find
I
that?
am sorry, you are looking for 12s.
Up in the upper right-hand corner is your saves.
Yeah.
Charisma save, right?
Yeah. So Duff, your charisma is 10, so you're
I'm
just
poor.
rolling a flat D10, D20.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
18.
No, that's Blarg, sorry. Duff,
No,
same.
no, I'm a 10. No, I'm a 10. I have no charisma whatsoever.
None of you really do,
I'm gonna roll one of my
Whoa, whoa,
advantages.
whoa,
I've
whoa,
got two
whoa.
of them.
except for
I got a
Hanar.
20.
I got a +2, baby.
Yeah, Hanar is slick talking.
I'm gonna burn an advantage here.
As
Mr.
slick as
D.
he
Hold on, let me make sure that's right. This is,
Yeah, I'm looking at your page, Duff. You got a 10 charisma, so you get a
oh, no, I rolled a 20. No, I rolled my Gary. Sorry.
Oh,
And I got the.
Ayo.
I will take it.
awesome.
I will
Yeah, I will
take
totally
it.
give it to you.
Thank you, Gary.
Absolutely. Crit roll.
God damn.
So, Grum, I will say that while this vision disturbs you and you feel shadows sort of moving over you and this darkness that kind of spread, it doesn't really touch you and kind of wafts just over you as you are so kind of incensed and ready to fight this thing that it doesn't take any hold over you, and you actually take no shadow. Who succeeded the roll?
I got a 14.
18.
Okay, everybody else succeeded. So those of you who succeed, you take 1 shadow instead of 3, as you feel this cold darkness just sort of nestle into your soul and start making you doubt a little bit and start making you fear a little bit, and you can really kind of smell this old evil that's just lingering in this place, and that seeps into your soul as you step into here and see sort of what's become of this place. You are all up on that platform. What do you want to do?
Hello?
Listen. How about listen?
There
How
are
about
several, so you can see 3. There are 3 tunnels that you could conceivably go down.
listen and look? Do we see movement or hear anything coming from any of them?
You can make some investigations and perceptions.
Yeah, I would like to do a hunting.
I'm gonna do
Or
perception.
hunting's
Yeah.
fine, yeah.
I'm proficient in hunting.
I'm proficient in
Oh,
perception.
sugar. That's a 7.
Oh yeah, 23, baby.
That's
Macho
on
man,
fire.
man. I guess
switched
Duff,
dice.
I guess Duff
There you
switched
go.
to his loaded die.
Okay. I'm in my element. If you said this stuff's massively, yeah. Come on. Smells. Okay. I sprinkled a little cheese on myself. Give me a little cheese, and I'm happy.
Cheese it up. So what'd you get, Duff? You got pretty high. What'd you get,
23.
I got a
Chris?
10 investigation.
And Hanar
Okay.
Hanar is busy stretching.
and Flash.
I rolled a 2.
I got a 7.
So, Grum, you tune out the 3 other noobs behind you talking about yoga. Hanar is trying to explain
Always.
to the other 2 what the reverse angle grip hold position is. And Ludgrim's trying to do it, which is, you're like, I mean, that gives you a shadow point. That gives
I was going to say, I'm truly scarred. I'm truly scarred. Okay?
You sort of, to make up for your earlier utter failure, you start scanning around. You get your nose to the ground. You scan the place, and you do find eventually that someone has been here. There are the steps, a set of steps.
Mm-hmm.
One person, fairly large, wearing fairly heavy boots. And with your super roll, you do manage to realize that they went down the tunnel to the south.
And I'm pointing south. When you bozos get done, whatever it is you're doing, I don't want to know, so don't explain. We're going south.
We're stretching. We're limbering up before the battle. You should try it.
It's surprisingly relaxing.
Yeah, you might sprain a groin or something.
No, cheese is all I need. And
They're going to smell you a mile away.
So what's your marching order? Where are you going? How are you getting there?
I guess we have to go down these.
I'm going to lead them while they're.
You should go first.
I have no problem going first.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And if it's an orc, then I am really feeling the moats, because that is what I do. I do orcs.
I will pull my dagger. You'll see.
Let's keep our personal lives out of this.
You'll see Flash pull a beautiful, ornate dagger. It's got runes on it.
All right, battle axe ready to go.
Give me a
magical battle axe.
Give me a perception test, Duff, at disadvantage.
Oh, come on. Disadvantage. Dang it. Hold on, let me go back up here. So that's with this +6, so I'm still looking good. Please tell me disadvantage.
Got this.
I don't know. Do the dwarves see in the dark? By the way, I'm not sure in this game.
Yet. It's a 10 with the 6. So
I don't think dwarves see in the dark, so it's fairly dark. Right now at the entrance here, there's a bit of light, but eventually you'll need some light.
5e dwarves have dark vision.
Not in the game, I don't think so.
Game.
I know
Different
that
game.
I know that the elves mentions it very specifically, but the dwarves.
Maybe you're right. I've forgotten. Okay. Sorry. I will shut up.
Give me a dexterity saving throw, Grum.
We have dark vision.
You do?
No, I don't know. Yeah, it's just talking about now. No.
You're just making that up.
Okay, what did? Yeah, I am. Well, they were making up names for all the yoga stuff. I know that Hanar's doing that just to show off. At disadvantage, 7 + 2, so 9.
9. So as you Anar, as you make your way down here to lead them, the second you just sort of step on this platform, you hear a sudden cracking sound, and the platform just collapses beneath you, taking you down with it. You fall through down onto the next platform, which also then collapses. And as you're falling down, all these sort of weird reddish vines just rip out that were kind of attached to the platforms, and then just kind of rip out and just all start piling up on top of you. When the dust clears, gentlemen, you see just this pile of wood and these red sort of meaty looking vines in a pile, and somewhere beneath all that is Grum. But the lot of you now, Grum having fallen all the way down here, the lot of you find yourselves on the edge of...
Yeah, I'll tie a rope to the post that the platform was affixed to and drop it down so that we can make our way down.
Grum, you'll take
I'll just
14
call out.
damage.
Grum, are
It's
you
okay.
okay?
Yeah,
Grum.
I'm just checking why my eyesight failed me because I'm reading that dwarves have. I didn't remember. Sorry, I'm just looking up something. I'm not trying to retcon it. So you're saying I took 14? That's fine.
Yeah, but do orcs? I mean, it's not going to change anything. But do orcs have? Do dwarves have?
I don't see it in the rule book.
That's what I was looking at, but I'm sitting alone. I'm just looking it up because I can't remember. But I'll take the 14 points of damage and land flat on my face somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because the elves, I know it mentions it specifically.
Yeah, but they're talking about their underground work and all that, and so it's probably something different. Just ignore me for the moment.
So the rest of you are going to jury rig a system with rope to try to get down there.
Yeah.
All right. I'll say you're experienced enough to know how to do this. Meanwhile, Grum is downstairs trying to extricate himself from this pile of debris and these weird vines. As the lot of you are coming down the ropes, Grum, you're trying to pull yourself out of this, and you realize the vines are starting to kind of move and try to encircle you and try to grab you.
Dwarves have dark vision.
Oh yeah, but are you looking in the?
No,
are you looking in the Lord of the Rings book? Or are you looking in the D&D book?
No, I'm looking at 5e. I was looking at 5e.
Yeah, no, in the Lord of the Rings, they don't.
They take it out. They take it out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What are we doing now?
So these things are kind of moving in and trying to grab you. So as the rest of them are coming down, you can give me a strength check if you want to try to just sort of rip through them and walk out of there.
Would like to do that, pick myself up. 9 + 6, 15.
All right, no problem. So you manage to kind of pull yourself out of there. You rip a couple of these vines out and just sort of muscle your way out. The rest of you see him dealing with that, so you kind of avoid them as you come down. But as you land down there and are checking each other over, and you see that they're kind of moving towards you very slowly, but they seem to be attracted to you somehow as you move.
Stop moving.
Sorry, I didn't mean that it was triggered by the move. I just meant that, like, if you walk away, they continue trying to. If you stop moving, eventually they'll catch up to you. They just seem to be kind of homing in on you.
Well, I will move away so that my companions can get down.
Okay, you figure you can keep sort of ahead of them, and then they kind of reach a length at some point where they don't stop anymore. But even when they hit their length, you can sort of see them kind of moving and still kind of sniffing the air and still kind of trying.
They smell me. Yeah, they can't have me. So where would that move me? Anywhere particular I need to be worried about?
You can just get, you're going to the south tunnel, so you can just sort of go around, and skip around.
I want to make sure not stepping on any of them and letting my hushed voice don't step on the red vines, but I want to make sure that I'm not putting myself in harm's way by the entrance of the tunnel, that I can see but not be seen.
Yeah, no problem. The tunnel ahead of you seems to be one of the last tunnels that was worked on, as it's not very wide. It's not. It doesn't look like it. They were just starting to dig through like an exploratory tunnel. They haven't really sort of pulled much out of it yet. But a lot of you can assemble at the entrance to that tunnel and start making your way in, if you so wish. Unless you're going to take a moment to heal up or something, or...
Sounds good.
I'm the only one who took any damage, right? Everybody else is still hunky-dory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Grum, you got to be more careful, man. I mean, falls are the leading cause of death for dwarves our age. So just take it easy, okay?
I should have stretched.
That's what I'm saying.
Stretch more often.
I got an ouchie.
Every day. Here, let me
I have limited abilities to heal if you think you need one.
Yeah. I'll start rubbing his shoulders. It's going to be okay. Like, we can do this, okay?
Yeah, got it.
We've done this kind of thing before. We've been up against orcs. You're a big, tough guy. I mean, you're still in great shape. I mean, you stink, but what's with the cheese, by the way?
Cheese
my
is what binds it all together.
cheese brings everybody. Yeah, that's what the vines are keying off of is my cheese. Okay,
Could
and you're watching them moving.
Sprinkle a little bit on the vines and keep them busy?
Maybe it's like salt. Maybe I could sprinkle a little bit and it won't pass because it's happiness and the vines are
you gonna
sadness.
Try it? Are you going to try it?
Sure, I would make. Yeah, baby.
You go ahead, you
Sprinkle a little
sprinkle, and
cheese.
as soon as it touches the vines, and they start recoiling away.
That's what makes cheese is
Power of
happy.
cheese.
Yeah,
power
they're
of
just
cheese.
they're lactose intolerant vines.
Grum, I have some limited abilities to heal if you think you need that before we
Limited is right.
head down the tunnel.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, let's wait. Let's see what else we got before we waste it.
Famous
Yes,
last
phone.
words.
I know it's my bedtime.
Yeah. Well, I also have limited ability to give your last rites in case we need that.
You will follow that tunnel for a while, and what becomes obvious to you is that this was the last tunnel they dug, so they probably closed the mine after they found what was at the end of this tunnel. And you will eventually see a place where there was a bit of a cave-in, and that cave-in opened a tunnel that was beneath the tunnel that they'd been digging, so there was already beneath this area kind of open caves or something, and there's a wooden ladder that was built there, so you kind of climb down a wooden ladder, being careful not to get screwed again with the rotting wood here, and you find a couple of loose planks and whatnot, but you manage with ropes and whatnot to sort of evade it. You get down in the bottom. As you reach the bottom of this sort of well where you are, you distinctly hear sounds and noises coming from further down. There's a kind of like a sobbing, like someone crying very gently that's coming from further down the tunnel. You hear other noise like things moving and things scraping against each other, and then there's just this kind of noise that's coming.
You recognize the voice?
No, you don't. In fact, you hear words, and when you hear the words, they're not dwarven. They're not
Male
orcish.
or female voice?
Male, and they're not orcish either. Just because I know that's your next question. Anyone speak Sindarin on your sheet?
I let it go long ago. Sorry.
It's alright, you traded it for cheese. No one could fault you.
The power of cheese.
Yep.
The knowledge.
No,
I'm looking at our lord, our smart man, our scholar.
Yeah, I don't understand the language.
So you don't know really what it is.
Is it coming? Do you say it's so? This what we're saying? We're coming from the east.
Yeah, I'm saying it's coming from this half of the map.
Yeah, we don't know where that's at, but we.
No, you see, there's a couple of tunnels that go down.
Yeah, but I'm assuming there's walls, so we don't know what else is over there.
Yeah,
You're
this is
the whole map right
so
now.
basically, so this is like this goes up to the ceiling. This and this.
That's
here
understood.
Also. Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
I'd
maps,
say
by the
we
way,
go
are
over
by
there and find out.
animated.
Yeah, we've
dungeon
come
maps.
this far.
They're good looking.
Yeah.
They need a grid on them.
No,
For
I
fantasy
know.
games.
They
I'm
have
teasing. I'm
they have
teasing.
gridded versions,
Business.
and Owlbear could put a grid on it too. I just don't like using grid.
You're then. I'm playing.
Okay.
So.
So how are you going down that tunnel? Are you YOLOing? Are you being careful? Are you being stealthy? Are you singing?
Come back.
I ho, it's off to work. We go. What's your
I
situation?
would say we're probably being stealthy. At least I would be.
Oh, I'm definitely stealthing it. If I'm still in orc mode.
I'm slipped back into scout infiltrator kind of mode.
I like stealthy.
Yeah.
I'm good at it.
So go ahead and make some stealthy rolls. Stealth
Okay, we'll use this dice.
I got a
I
21.
bet I guess he's not so good at it.
15.
22.
I got a 12.
12, 22, 15, and what was the other one?
I had 21.
Yeah, all right. So altogether, you managed to sort of make your way around there. As you get around that corner, the crying and the weeping gets a little louder. You're pretty sure it's just one voice now. And you hear movement like someone walking in water, pacing perhaps sort of back and forth. As you approach this area, you're feeling again a very intense presence of shadow lingering and lurking just beyond the corner where you are.
Boy.
What do you want to do?
Is there any other paths out of here? Or do we have to go through this to keep moving?
It's the only tunnel that leads ahead.
That's what I want to know. Yeah, okay. And do we see other tracks just like in front of me?
You can, if you want to check for tracks, go ahead and make your roll.
Damn it, I'm going to be headed back the other direction here and again, I think. What did you make me roll? What?
It was Hunter.
Hunting.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, help me with
Grant you advantage.
Yeah.
I'm proficient.
11.
There's so much grit and grime and dirt and mud and dust and rocks that you really can't make out heads or tails of any tracks.
I hate my life. Okay. Any other bright ideas, boys?
Keep moving forward, I suppose.
Let's go around the corner and see what it is.
So, what's your marching order? Who goes first? How do you do it?
I can stealth up first.
Well, I'd say both of us, if we were doing that together, then I'm assuming we're coming right around the corner just to look at the water. And Flash, you want to run all up there, but I'm assuming all we need to do is come right around the corner to see it down into this cul-de-sac area.
So your stealth rolls will remain from earlier. They were good, and that's fine. You can kind of creep in. As you turn around the corner, you see 3 pillars. So there are 3 pillars here, one here, one here. There are 4 pillars, sorry, one here and one here. These pillars seem to be covered in runes, very similar to the runes that you saw upstairs around the door. They're placed sort of at the 4 cardinal points, and there are chains that kind of dangle from them, but they're broken right now. And runes, which you, Lugram, would kind of expect to be glowing, are completely dead on these pillars. As you come around, you see pacing back and forth, crying, sobbing, in some distress, this figure that I will put here, dressed in some form of ancient armor. There's no more skin or flesh. You see just bone underneath the armor, and this bone is glowing. This sort of dark blue. The eyes themselves also have this cold, dark, evil blue color to them. As this thing paces back and forth, the entire look of this creature is one that is spectral, ghostly in its presence. A wave of shadow emanates from it as you turn around the corner and comes to envelop you. Give me charisma saving throws again, please. This time you're looking for 15s, so if you got advantages, might not be a bad time to...
And is it like down a level from us? Is the water below us?
It's in the water, but it's like maybe like a foot or so, and it's not very deep. It's just kind of like a little pool.
You're saying throw these, if we have an advantage. Well, we don't have a head.
If you have inspirations kicking around, that's what when I say advantage, that's what I mean.
Gotcha. I'll use my inspiration just to make sure. My charisma sucks.
I failed.
Ooh, I got 20.
Again, you're like we're doing pretty good at that. So once again, if your character, the shadow just washes over you and narrowly leaves a trace. The rest of you, if you failed, you take 3 shadow points as this creature, and the power that ties it to this world is one that is utterly corrupt and born entirely of shadow. You, in your mind, for a second, as those of you who fail this throw, In your mind, for a flash of a second, you see this giant burning eye that was looking somewhere else, but then in a split second turns and looks directly at you. It sees you, it recognizes you, it knows you, it looks right deep down into you, and you feel the shadow just take hold of your heart as it's there. And in a moment, this vision is gone, but all is left before you is this specter, this white, that is in the water in front of you. My friends, what do you wish to do? It has not seen you. Your stealth rolls were good. It's pacing away from you. So at this moment, it hasn't seen you yet. What do you wish to do?
I have a situation on my character sheet. My shadow score has now exceeded half my wisdom, and so I believe I am currently miserable.
You feel the crushing weight of this prediction of a future that is dark, that is antithetical to life, this future that is bleak and without any hope, and you feel your heart just give way, and you're just suddenly completely demoralized. Nothing will go right, nothing can work, you will die, everything will give way to shadow, everything will eventually just be eaten and corrupted by this shadow. You feel this just grab hold of your heart and drag you down, and really you really just want to walk down into this pool and weep with this specter who seems to feel the same thing that you do. You feel that perhaps in friendship with him, if you embraced with him, you could perhaps find comfort and together perhaps sort of find a way through this, but it's just this crushing feeling that's upon you.
Does the score have to exceed half, or does it equal half?
If it equals half.
Equals half. Then I am also miserable.
Same here.
Oh boy.
You are a bunch of miserable dwarves.
Dwarves. Figures.
What,
All right.
what
I'm
do
gonna
I
reach
use
into my pouch that I hang around my. I have this pouch that I hang on a lanyard around my neck, and I'm gonna reach into that and pull out a little blue pill that I get from a wizard friend of mine, and I'm gonna pop that pill.
That's all we need now. It's him walking around with a stiffy. Okay, great.
Brings me hope.
Can I give them all a
you
blow of cheese?
I will say
blow of
something,
cheese.
my friend Dave. I will say, go ahead, Dave. Make me an explore roll.
Ooh.
I'll say make me an explore roll, and let me know what you get there.
I got a 15.
So as you're sitting there kind of getting depressed about all this, and you maybe sit down and you pull out your pill and you start kind of get ready to eat it, you see on the ground below the water, you see a pair of shackles. They appear to be made of mithril. They're under the water, and as you look at them, you can see that there are runes on them that glow with a certain amount of light, and the water's kind of playing over it, and it's kind of catching your eye as you see it. This pair of manacles that resembles like what would have been at the extension of one of these chains or something, but there seems to still be some power left in it. It is very...
I'll elbow Grum. I'll be like, right there, look, we get those shackles on it. I'll elbow him again. Grum, right there, we'll get those shackles on it. And then I'll elbow him one more time. Hey, dude,
Yep.
Grum.
Yep.
The shackles, they're glowing. Let's.
Can
I'm gonna
time it
go
then?
for
Do we want to? Well, I was going to or time it when he's moving around to hit those shackles at the same time he is moving next to them to try to minimize, time in the water. If I'm not feeling, I'm bathing in this shadow, baby. Okay.
Why can't I make this thing bigger? Did someone mess with it? I hate you all.
Blame Dave.
Oh, I can't make it.
I didn't touch a thing.
It's okay. So what you're realizing is you're kind of burning time here. As this thing was kind of walking away, it's about to kind of turn around, and it's probably going to spot you. So I'm going to go around and ask you what you do. Right. So you get an action before we get to initiative. Before this thing turns around and spots you. So Hanar has elbowed you, has showed you the shackles. You know they're there. I'm going to go around. I'm going to start with Farron. What does Flash do?
Does this thing look like an orc? Like
It does not.
Okay, so it's not like an orcish white.
No.
I think he's probably gonna just sit in a just and start to find his pouch and roll him up a smoky treat.
Ludgrim, what do you do?
Be sad.
I think what I'm going to do is go around this corner so he can't see me when he turns around.
Grum, what do you do? I'll save Grum for last since he's not morose. What does Hanar do? Just
Yeah,
keep.
I'm not.
Well, so the shackles are in the water, you said,
Yeah.
kind of below the surface, correct?
Yeah, I'll try to get
so-
you a little.
Yeah. So Hanar is gonna kind of like pull himself together. He's gonna do a quick deep breath meditation, and then he's going to remove all of his clothes except for the blue undies that he wears, and he's gonna go into the water to get these. I'm not going in there with my buckskin pants on, you guys. This vest is not getting wet, but he's gonna go in and he's gonna grab those shackles. And he's gonna. My goal is to try to, get him back on the white at somehow, but he doesn't know how.
Grum.
Distract the white for Hanar to hit him with the shackles. If I'm
Okay.
seeing that.
So how are
Yeah.
you going to do that?
Cheese, my friend. Cheese. Okay.
It's
Hey.
a well-known fact that whites are very,
Yeah,
very
so-
attracted to cheese.
No. Looky.
So the white's turning around. You, Dave, or Hanar is wading into the water towards where the shackles are. You see where it's kind of glowing there on the map, like there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's where the shackles are.
Okay.
So you're moving towards that, and you, my friend, cheese in hand, walk over there and try to distract the white. I will tell you to give me a performance check.
Can I do this stealthily? Can I try to stealth over to the shackles?
Yeah, you can go
Crap.
ahead and roll
Right.
stealth. You are at a disadvantage on all your rolls because you are.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, his blood's flowing
Oh, yeah.
elsewhere.
If you have advantages, if you have inspirations left, probably a good time to.
You only gave us one, though, right?
Yeah, but Dave had a couple more.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
I have two more.
great. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I have two left, by the way, too.
Okay, don't rub it
Yeah.
in. Okay. You said performance, right? Oh, this is
Yeah.
going to be horrible. Absolutely horrible. Please. Oh, that's not bad. A 15.
I got an 18 on my stealth.
You got a what?
18.
All
That's
right,
with
so it's
disadvantage.
going swimmingly for a bunch of depressed blokes. Dave, you managed to kind of slip through the shadow
I'm
and
not.
head over there and get to the thing. And meanwhile, over on the other corner, Grum is putting the spectacle on. Like, the three of you are watching Grum, and you're like, fuck, I want cheese now.
That's right, baby. Cheese
Like, he's
takes
selling
shadow
that
away.
cheese. He's selling
It is.
that cheese. The
Okay.
white does turn around and look at you and seems very bemused and stops to cry for a second and stops to sob and really kind of just stares at you. Dave, you will manage to reach and grab the shackles in the water. Let us do at this point an initiative, please.
All right.
Is that a disadvantage too?
No, the initiative will be straight up. Yeah.
Mine, it was a 3 plus, it was 8 with it. Okay, cool. So I remember.
21.
18.
15.
Oh, Grum, Hanar, Grum. Who am I missing? Flash.
I got a
21.
3.
Okay. Yeah. So Hanar, you got what?
I got an
Ludgrim
18.
got a
Ludgrim got
3.
Flash.
21.
Save the best for
me.
last.
And the whites. Ooh, 19.
Now.
Hey now. Flash, you kind of draw yourself out of your torpor just long enough to realize that the white is kind of looking at Grum and is moving in a kind of threatening way towards him. He's probably moving towards him. You see over there your other friend Hanar is in the water trying to fish out something. You see him pull out a length of something that glows in what little light is available in this hole. What would you like to do?
I think I'm gonna come right to the side of Grum and prepare to defend him if the white approaches. And can you hold an action in this game?
You can totally hold an action.
Yeah, so I've got my Warhammer out, I've got my dagger out, I'm a 2-weapon fighting style mofo, so I'll just...
In a flash, this white just leaving a trail of ghostly shadows behind and pops in right over in front of Grum. I will let you take your action, Wiley, as this thing is coming in with the shield up and the sword, and it looks like it's about to...
So I have the 2-weapon fighting style, so as a bonus action I get to use my offhand, and both of them get the damage bonus.
Go for
so
it.
First my dagger, Telok Turin, glimmers through the air as I stab with a 14.
Missing.
Alright, and then I swing the hammer in my offhand bonus action with a dirty 20.
Nice.
That hits.
Alright, so I got D4. What's really cool about that is I don't have a damage bonus for the hammer because it's not a finessed weapon and I have no strength bonus. So I do 4 damage, though, of the bludgeoning sort.
All right. Your well, so it kind of hits his shield, but it still kind of disrupts the energy around him. So you do get the feeling that you add an effect on this thing. It will come in and it will take. It has 2 attacks, so it's going to take one on Grum and one on you since you hit it.
Doesn't respect cheese.
Yeah. No. So it's 21 to hit on Grum.
That'll hit.
It must
and a 19 to hit on Wiley.
Yeah, that's a good hit.
How fair.
All right. So it has Living Bane sword, which gives it double damage against the living.
Oh, well, I'm dead, so it's cool. I'm that old.
So Duff.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage. Sorry, it's 25 damage.
Ooh, shit,
and 22 on Wiley. As this sword just goes through, and it's this ghostly blade that just goes right through your armor and right through you. And as it does, you just feel like your life energy gets sucked out and into it, into this sword as it glows brightly and just cuts right through you. And yeah,
you moron.
Hanar, you are standing there in your undies and holding this length of chain, which is not the first time you've been in that situation before.
That's right. I'm used to this.
He's in his wheelhouse, man.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
What would you like to do?
Now, are they up on a like a ledge above me?
Yeah, but not super high. It's really like maybe like a foot or so. Like it's what Wiley asked that question earlier, and I was thinking it's just like a very shallow pool that they're in, so it's maybe like a foot and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so he's gonna, as this white is attacking, he's gonna move forward, and he's just gonna say, I usually ask for consent, but special circumstances, and he's gonna try to throw the shackles on the ankles of this creature.
Give me a sleight of hand roll.
Let's see, I think I have.
Do it.
Do it. I have.
You could use your magic in this case because I told you.
Successes.
Yeah, because I told you didn't have to use it earlier, so you could use it here if you want.
Yeah, so I'd like to. I don't really remember how that works though. Do
So
I still
all
roll?
you have to do is you have to declare it. So basically, what happens? One of the rules in this game is sometimes you get the ability to have a magical success. So that means that a number of times per day equal to your proficiency, you can declare that one of your skill rolls that is for a skill you have proficiency in is a natural 20 without rolling. And this is to account for things like, in the Hobbit, in the Lord of the Rings movie, when Legolas is running up the rocks that are falling, like shit that looks magical and impossible, that's what it accounts for. So this is the same thing where you come up, there's this ghostly figure and he's kind of hovering and there's the fight going on and you're like there with the thing and you're completely demoralized. Normally you'd be rolling at a disadvantage, right? Because you've got your shadow rating is too high and you're just like, and then you're just like kind of close your eyes and just sort of throw it. And it just flies off, and just as he moves, it clamps around one of his legs. And as soon as it does, he screams, and you can see that it's kind of affecting him. You got the other length of chain now in your hand, and you realize you probably need to tie it to one of those posts.
Oh boy, a little help here.
Ludgrim. Sorry, Grum, next.
Well, he just smacked me.
Oh, he smacked you some fierce.
Yeah, he did. So I'd like to. Well, I guess I wouldn't be paying attention. I'd like to knock him back, at least away from me. That might help. Not knowing Pinar get the chain somewhere. So, yeah, I'm gonna battle axe his face.
Go for it.
Not that. I have 2 attacks, boys.
Do it.
Yep.
Highly recommend rolling high.
Good advice.
Unless you're playing Dragonbane. Then it's horrible advice.
That first one's going to be a miss. I'm assuming that was a 5. Yeah, whatever.
Oh, no, that's a hit.
And Duff is all or nothing. He's either getting natural 20s or flubbing.
Checkers or wreckers.
I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Get away from me! Never mind. How y'all doing?
Wally, you watch your friend Grum just wild, screaming, just swing, and the white's not even trying to avoid it. The white's just kind of looking at Hanar, kind of very disturbed, and they're just going wide. Like it's horrible. You were depressed before.
Horrible.
You're even more depressed now. I'm not gonna make you take a shadow point, but you're like,
it's freaking crazy.
Ludgrim, you witnessed this spectacle.
You gonna read a book to death?
Do I see the other chain? And
well, you see that Hanar is holding the other end, and he looks like he's going to try to head off to that post there. I guess that's next to him.
So he has the other length of chain. Okay, so I'm going to use a bonus action to give another rhyme of lore, and I'm going to give one to Hanar. And I'm going to give one to Grum. My almanac allows me to give an extra one.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about this almanac, would you?
Yeah, what does it do? Yeah.
So Ludgrim has his item is called well, I don't know what it's called actually. No, I do. It's his Nana's almanac, and it contains the rune scribe family. Secrets, recipes, and secrets and runes that only the rune scribe family knows how to use, and they pass it down from generation to generation. And Ludgrim has it now, and he can use that almanac to do a variety of different things, which may or may not be revealed. But he does get to give an extra rhyme of lore. That's nice.
Nice.
So you get an extra D8 on whatever next roll you make, and that was your bonus action. What will you do for your action?
I think I am going to. I want to come up. Can I get to? Can I get behind Grum and see?
Yeah.
Can I heal him from?
Yeah, you can totally do that.
I think I can heal you for an action, but
yeah, I'm looking pretty grum.
Yeah. That second level Leechcraft you can use as an action. So I'm gonna use Leechcraft as an action. So I'm gonna use a crafting slot. Your skill is an action. You can spend a craft slot. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna come up behind Grum.
There's a guy in Greyhawk who also does Leechcraft.
Is there?
Yeah.
And I am going to heal him. And now I have so many windows. I'm not on the right one. So I can, as an action, you can spend a craft slot. DC 10 medicine check, and I guess I get modifiers with that, right?
Yeah.
And
Flash is on deck, by the way.
But I roll it at disadvantage.
Yes, if you are unhappy.
I am. I'm very unhappy. Okay, that's not really awesome. Oh my god, that is just the worst roll. So let's see.
You're your own worst enemies.
I mean, that's,
So I got an 11. So that's minus the 10, right? So he gets 1 hit point back.
Nice.
Right, that's how it works, am I right?
No,
so.
what do you mean minus the 10?
Don't I go, let's see, it says Leechcraft, I get a DC, you can spend 1 use. Okay, I can do that.
You have to roll
if you
over 10.
succeed, oh, I have to roll over 10.
Yeah, which
Oh,
you
yeah,
did
you're
Leechcraft.
right.
You can spend 1 use of leader's kit to replace the D20 roll with a 10. If you succeed, a creature remains a number of 8 points equal to your check result. Oh yeah. Minus 10. That's right.
Minus 10. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I got a 1. So he gets 1 point back. You're welcome.
Oh, I
Spend it all in one.
feel so lucky.
Enjoy that.
What the hell?
You're not supposed to roll so low, I guess. But all right, cool. So you
Nothing works.
you
The
had that
healing
you had
doesn't
this little
work
tweak
anymore.
in your neck when you woke up this morning, Grum, and it's gone.
You need a little cheese next time.
Bad news, Grum. Looks like you're gonna die.
Flash, what you
Sorry.
got going for us?
So I'm going to, can I kind of see what Hanar's up to now? I've been
Yeah,
standing here
I
watching
would
this
say so,
unfold.
yeah,
So
totally.
I'm going to make a rush at the white.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to try to absolutely lower my shoulder to his midsection and tackle his ass to get him off his feet to make it easier for Hanar to get over to that post.
Give me a hit with your strength
And-
bonus and your proficiency rating.
And I'm also going to do that. I'm going to spend my inspiration to nullify the disadvantage.
Good call.
So I'm fresh out of anything exciting. So I don't have a strength bonus, unfortunately, but I do have a
You have a dexterity
proficiency
bonus. You
bonus
can
of
use that.
3.
You can use your dexterity
I
bonus.
do. Yeah, I have a 3 for that. So I
And your
get 3 plus my
proficiency.
proficiency. All right, so that's 6. And that's a 16 on the die for 22. That's a good roll.
Don't you have a plus D8 also from Ludgrim?
No, I did not.
Oh, you
Hanar
got
got
it.
it,
Okay.
and Grum has it.
But what
yeah.
did you get?
I got a 22.
All right, that's good enough. So you hit the white and go through him, but your life force drags him with you. So even though you didn't hit anything solid, you literally kind of just slowed down and went through him. Your life force grabbed him and hauled him, and so that both of you kind of go stumbling down onto the ground near where the post is, which is good because he was going to take a huge swing at Hanar on his action, which is now. But now you tackle him to the ground, and he's kind of stuck with you. And it's one of those things where he can't really roll off of you or anything because it's like your life forces are fighting each other kind of thing.
Nice.
So he's just going to try to stab you, really, is what he's going to try to do.
Sure, this is
And
fine.
miss.
This is
So he kind of tries to wedge his sword in, but totally misses as you're kind of
That's good
fighting
news.
each other. And Hanar, you now have this chain in your hand. You have this post right there. The white's on the ground, kind of wrestling out with Flash. If you want to leave this place, now's the time to do it.
You're muted, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Let me take all the damage and let's leave now.
You're muted.
Hanar's
Dave.
muted.
Dave.
Hello, I'm
there
here. I'm going to try to get the chain and reattach the post.
Sleight of hand.
Okay. I'm going to use my last advantage on this one. Does
Go
that
for
make it a straight roll? Because I'm
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
whatever, sad
Stupefied.
little dwarf.
+8.
Plus D8.
Plus
from
eight?
You got the D8
Oh,
from
plus
his
a D8. Thank you.
Lord
thank
of
you for
Runes or
reminding me
Lord of
that.
the Dance or whatever the hell
Yeah.
it
And
is.
then
Lord of the Dance.
Doing the bird. Morris Day in the time.
That's all he needs is more, it's a yoga pose for him.
Right.
5 total. Oh, wait, hold on.
How did you get 5 with a plus D?
15,
How did you get 5?
15 total. 15 total.
15 is good enough as you lunge, throw yourself over this wrestling white and your friend Flash, throw yourself over them and lock the other end of this manacle to the post. And as soon as you do, the energy transfer the manacle into the post, it lights up with these runes of protection. And the white shrieks in pain. And then slowly you see it kind of start to just float. And then it becomes sort of immobile, and it's kind of hanging with its head hanging down, holding the sword and shield down, and it's just sort of hovering near that post with the shackle holding it to that.
I think we did it. We did it. Let's get out of here.
Probably a good idea to put runes on this mine to keep people out.
Huh?
You would think. Can we leave now?
Yeah, so as you, I will say this also, you will notice there's a little alcove there over on the east end of the thing, and inside that alcove you will see a sarcophagus, a coffin that has been unturned and as is open. When you approach this sarcophagus, you will read an inscription on it, and I will say that Ludgrim can transcribe it with his super duper old lore. In the inscription it says, "Here lies the necromancer Thazin Kel. May his soul never leave this prison." And you see the coffin is open, and oddly enough, inside, what you do see is not a skeleton or anything like that. The inside of the coffin is like filled. It says it like it's got steel, or it would be lead. It's got lead all the way inside of it, except for a small cruciform shape about yay long by yay wide, and it looks like there was a depression. There was an item that's kind of in a cross shape that was in there that is now gone. And when you look on the inside of the coffin, there is a freshly marked symbol of an upside down cross with 3 dots.
Headless Cross.
You will return outside, leave this mine and its dark secret behind. You will eventually, by doing some research, Ludgrim, find out that this spirit that you fought was an ancient elven warrior that had been chained here to prevent people from attacking or messing, sorry, not attacking, but messing with this tomb that was there. And this is like thousands of years old, this little crypt here. When you return outside upstairs, you will find that the rest of the villagers have prepared the tithe for the thugs.
Bandits.
Because you are also afflicted by shadow and so sort of down, you don't have the juice anymore to really kind of put up a fight, and you kind of just sort of wait to see it sort of happen. But what you will find is as the thugs are sort of coming in to take possession of their what they want, you will find that the rest of the village, in your absence while you got onto the map, have set up an ambush for them, and using barrels of whiskey that they've lined up will set them on fire and just totally put them to disarray. They're throwing pitchforks at them, they're throwing mining picks, they're throwing rocks, all sorts of things. And after taking a few licks, the soldiers now who don't have the thugs who don't have the what's the word I'm looking for, the
Stamina?
No, the explosion that was supposed to happen to kind of give them a diversion and all that.
Oh, the diversion, yeah.
Will sort of turn heel and skedaddle, leaving behind the village, celebrating their victory, and perhaps not realizing that you have managed to still save the village by preventing this white from ever leaving and locking it back in there, because it was very angry at having failed to do its job, and it would have just come out and slaughtered everybody. And I'm just sort of wrapping this up because it's already late. But I would like you to give me a brief idea. We'll go around and quickly tell me what becomes of your character. What will they do now in these next few days or weeks or months ahead, and what befalls them in the near future. And we will start with Farron.
Yeah, so I think that Flash will probably, as a herald, he's a herald, as a messenger, would want to be able to tell the tale. So maybe with the help of Ludgrim, we could write the story, write the tale, providing myself ample credit for the game-saving tackle. And I think he would just kind of like to stay retired in town.
Excellent. What about Grum? What will Grum do? By the way, your shadow will eventually leave, and you will be able to
less miserable
to enjoy.
I already knew my path was quite clear of being a wandering warden, and now that I know that true shaky cheese will get rid of all bad things, because I saw it in action against those vines that was death, is that I will begin to move around the countryside, bringing to the villages the goodness of shaky cheese.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. And
you didn't think of that with
no,
the dwarf.
but you will realize that what shaky cheese does is when you consume it, it takes away shadow. So if only you know that.
It does take away shadow. It does. Okay.
Ludgrim, what will become of Ludgrim?
Well, so Ludgrim would help write the tale, and he would give himself just a ample credit for the powerful healing that he delivered to make sure the heroes survived the encounter with the white. So he'd make sure that was, and he'd probably decide that retirement's probably the best idea. So he would go back to retirement. He'd be lost in his books. He'd probably take up yoga and live out his life a happy dwarf.
Nice. Awesome. And what will become of Hanar, the Don Juan?
God help us.
Of
I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far, but okay, fine. Hanar will go back to what he was doing before, which is focusing on relaxation, centering himself, spreading the good word and the physical benefits of yoga to the people of this wonderful town, brewing kombucha and taking special lady callers from time to time when his services are needed, and live happily ever after.
And they will continue to fight over you, and But
let's not get too crazy. Come on now.
I think we're going to name our tale.
Brockfield, the Mad Talk, is definitely going to raise
Yeah. We're gonna name our tale High Plains Drifter. I think.
There you go.
We're gonna see if we can sell it to Hollywood.
I think you got a chance. And that will conclude our little adventure here in Middle Earth tonight. Thank you so much, gang. This is a lot of fun. You guys are a riot. I had a very good time with it. So let's quickly go around again and tell us who you are, where people can find you, what you got going on, and then stick around, people, please. Thanks for watching. We're going to read a good friend of ours, and we will do that in a moment. So we'll go back to the Wiley. What's up, Wiley?
Yeah. So I got a little channel that occasionally we play games on, usually Grey and Hawk D&D, and Sunday we're going to be back in Secrets of the Flaness, wrapping up almost a 2-year arc, session number 20. So pretty cool about that. We're going to start a new series, the second Secret of the Flaness, and it has a lot to do with giants. And then we also, Dave and Chris both playing that game, and then we also have a second game going on Sundays as well, different Sundays, called How Comes the Darkness, and it's sort of an extension of the Secrets of the Flaness game, and it's just Carl and Chris. And so, yeah.
I think that's going to be Hanar's biography's name, How Comes the Darkness.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Thank you so much. Wiley, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. It was a blast. Again. I had a great time with it. Good luck. Fun with your games. People check out Wiley's channel. Doing a lot of good stuff in there. I mean, he's got Chris in there, and Dave, but the games are good anyways. Duff, what's up?
Nope, folks. Yeah, Duff563 or Lord Praetor over on the Praetor Rejects channel. Once again, big shout out here to the Guild and Bleak for allowing me to come on the channel and degrade it as much as possible with these other guys. It was a lot of fun. I like giving. Yeah, so we we're kind of been in a little hiatus, a little downtime right over the Rechecks. I will be spinning up a few Alien games because I am, like Bleak is doing here, I am a fan of the Free League rule sets, and I'm going to keep pestering him until he runs another Blade Runner.
There are plans. Okay. There are plans.
Okay.
Plans
I need to learn it. I've got it. I did all that
Kickstarter game also.
It's a Free League, and I have the Walking Dead one, and I haven't had a chance to read it either. And I have their Zone Wars. I haven't had a chance to read it. But we'll be running that definitely a couple more times. We're going to spin it up here for the fall. For the Alien RPG, and then you'll see me over on Gamehole Con and Gary Con channels because we help produce the content for those lovely conventions. And Free League just happens to be the new sponsor for Gamehole Con, the main primary sponsor now. So yeah, we'll be ramping up on their channel pretty much all Free League games on the Twitch channel during that con. And then we'll turn that off and then prepare for the Gary Con extravaganza in March, the 50-year 5-0 for D&D. We'll Founders and Legends the weekend before, and then a day off, and then we start the main convention, or 2 days off, really. And so basically a full week at that location, if I can just swing it for work. But yeah, lots of stuff going on. Awesome. Check the YouTube, the Facebook and the Twitter posts, and we'll tell you what's happening. So thank you again. Enjoy
it. It was great fun having you. You ever need anyone to come and run some Free League? I'm your guy, and we definitely got some Blade Runner plans. So
we need to talk. Yeah,
we'll sit down and we'll chew the fat, as they say. My man, Chris, I love you, man. I just love playing with you. You're a lot of fun.
Well, you are too kind. I love playing with you. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it. Great game. Love the system. Yeah. Really a blast tonight. As Wiley said, I play over on his channel on Sundays in 2 different games. Come and check us out. I think they're pretty good games. We have a lot of fun there too.
We have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. So come and check us out.
Awesome. Thanks so much again for appearing. Super appreciate it. Finally, last but not least, the main man, Dave himself. What's up?
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello
Tell us what
again.
you got going on.
Hey.
Tell us what we got going on this week over here.
Yeah, so big week tomorrow night. We will be playing our Heroes of Greyhawk, jumping back into that. It's been an ongoing campaign that we've had for a couple of years now, and just loving it. We've got that on Tuesday. We've got more Lord of the Rings. Bleak will be running a Lord of the Rings game on Thursday night here on the channel. And then on Saturday, our good pal Shiv from across the pond is going to be running his first 2-shot on the channel. Super excited. The Incident at Fairwind Falls. And it is, I'll be playing in it and producing it. Shiv's going to be running it. Hoolie's going to be back.
Nice.
Andy G3D, who produces our Thursday night game, is going to be in front of the camera playing. And Kurt is going to be there from Blue Box and other places. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. And then we'll be back. I'll be back on Wiley's channel on Sunday. So big week of gaming and always having fun and bringing people together to play games and,
cool.
Enjoy each other's company.
Game.
So Guild Superior, is it named after Lake Superior by any chance?
Yeah, you're damn right.
Doesn't so maybe it should be like Guild Gitchagumi.
Maybe.
No, we tried that. It was trademarked.
2nd level branding.
Yeah. We'll probably keep it the way it is.
The big lake they call Gitchagumi.
We're just like the lake. You jump in and we get you wet. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. Thank you, gang, for playing this little game. I had a ton of fun. You guys are absolutely crazy, and I had a good laugh, and it was beautiful characters and a lot of fun. So thank you so much for hanging. We are going to rate our friend Myriad, who dropped in on us earlier today, see what she's up to. Thank you for hanging out with us. Do give Myriad some good old-fashioned Guild Superior love when we go, and we will see you on Tuesday, tomorrow, for DM Dave's Heroes of Greyhawk. Cheers, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for watching.